Welcome back to episode 250 of the Hockey Cards Gongshow podcast.
Yo, it's episode 250, the Gongshow ride. We messing up French name. Can keep it inside. Phil sleeps with cake. Yeah, dreams so sweet. But on the pod, he brings the heat. Louis on mute, but his skills speak loud. The producer king making us proud. Props to Troy, the OG, the voice, dropping hockey card wisdom, the people's choice. Gongshow Nation, it's time to thrive. Hockey Cards Gongshow, we're keeping it live.
What's up, boys? What's up, Phil? How are you doing?
What's going on?
Yeah. The hat. It's amazing. You look great, dude.
Thank you. I have a closet full of hat attire, and I love to bust them out. All I need is an opportunity. So,
yeah, there you go. Baba Louie, how are you, bud?
Doing good.
You had family Christmas last night. How'd that go?
Oh, jeez. Actually, it went really good. We had a great time.
Good. Yeah, you get a little drunk on eggnog there, or what? What happened? You tell any embarrassing secrets to your wife's family, or what's going on here?
No, I've had plenty of practice on that. I know when to stop.
All right. Really quickly, a couple things to get into before today's show. Want to go through the holiday schedule really quick. So we will have a show next Thursday, which will be the day after Christmas, Boxing Day, as they call it in Canada. It'll feature part 2 of now a 3-part masterclass series of Bobby Burrell on the history of the hockey hobby through the eyes of O-Pee-Chee. We recorded this already, Phil, and there's some amazing information that Bobby shared. Hey,
big time. It was get your pen and paper ready and take notes.
Mm-hmm. We also have shows on our regular dates for Monday, December 30th, and then Thursday, January 2nd will be our first show of 2025. So no holiday break for the Gong Show. We keep trucking, keep it rolling. Yeah. So maybe we'll be able to give you a little respite in case, might be a little sick of your family day after Christmas, or need to take maybe a couple hour walk, to work off that holiday meal or something like that. So yeah, we'll be regular schedule all through the holidays. And then I suppose, hey, we should acknowledge episodes 250, another milestone today for our podcast. Sorry, Phil, there's no cake to celebrate. I know you're probably
not for you. I got lots of cupcakes, and I got brownies for later. I'll send a picture from my Instagram.
Okay. For those of you that maybe are new, we started the show in May of 2022. It's crazy. It's already almost 2025. I'm not sure, honestly, what to say about 250. Got to give props to Troy. Still miss doing the show without him. Talk to him all the time. He's doing well, so that's good. I think we just all work hard to make the best show possible. We want it to be informative, educational, but fun and funny too. And we want to get more and better guests. We're working hard to do that. I don't know. I just love doing the show. 250, almost in a weird way, doesn't mean anything, because then it's just like I feel like we're on to 251, right? We just kind of keep rolling. But
away.
I love the hobby. Very, very grateful that I get to meet so many people. And honestly, I hope we get to do the show 10,000 more times. That would be great. I don't know. You guys want to add anything for 250? Phil, maybe start with you.
Yeah, we talk about it all the time. If we won the lottery or got a FU kind of money, nothing would change. We talk about that scenario all the time. Even if we got a blank check for the podcast, what would change? We'd have to be doing a lot of thinking and make it interesting and fun and authentic. And let's keep going. 251, next one.
Right. Hey, we still got 300 more to go with these Hall of Famers, anyways.
Yeah.
Yeah. Get into the bit there, but I think though that's true. Like where we really geek out together is those little kind of things that we discover in our own respective areas to make the show better. Like that's what keeps it interesting to us and pushing the ball forward, kind of adding new wrinkles. And we're just very, very grateful for the support. And it is an acknowledgement of, I think, everyone that has supported our show, that that has thought us worthwhile to be here for 250 episodes. So again, very, very grateful and looking forward to today's show. And then after that, 251. Last thing before we get started is a reminder that our show, the Hockey Cards Gongshow podcast, is a Patreon podcast, which means we rely on the support of listeners like yourself and watchers like yourself to help us cover show expenses, continue to produce more and what we hope is better hockey card content, fund initiatives, even in a small way to grow the hockey hobby. It's very easy to support us. You can join our $2.99 support level tier on Patreon for as little as $5 US a month. just go to our website, hockeycardsgongshow.com, and click on the Become a Patron link at the top of the page. If you want, just go to Patreon directly, patreon.com, search for Hockey Cards Gongshow. Or there's a link in the description for both the podcast apps and in YouTube, and then our Instagram and TikTok profile as well. Well, we got a couple new ones, a makeup and Phil to go through today. So we're going to do our makeup for JB. There you go, JB. Thank you again. We missed the graphic on our last show, but then we got two new ones. We got Big Mac 316. Sounds tough. You
like it.
That guy with that name?
That's a good name.
And then Subsidian, which sounds. What does that sound like?
Sub-Zero?
Finish Sub-Zero, the ninja.
Yeah.
Finish him. Yeah, there we go. And then, of course, Phil. Thanks, Phil, for your support.
Yeah, still me. Freaking. You know what? My credit card's expiring this month. They got to mail me a new one, so I don't even have to do anything. I'm just gonna.
There you go.
There you go. I lost by default.
There you go.
Awesome.
All right, Baba Louie. We got a big show. You ready with the game plan, bud?
Oh, yeah, I am. Let's get into this here. First, start off with get to know your Hall of Famers. Then it's off to who's hot and the struggle bus. Followed by that, we do some hobby news. Then the Hobby Mount Rushmore Pittsburgh Penguins. Should be interesting. Then it's new product releases. And we'll jump into the Gongshow Mailbag and finish up with some personal pickups.
Yo, it's the Gong Show. We're dropping the facts. Hockey cards on fire. No holding us back. Josh looking sharp, the face of the scene. Feeling pork chop pants, rocking it clean. Baba Louie in the booth, he's the man with the plan. The best producer in all the land. Gong Show Nation, let's hit the flow. It's the Hockey Cards Gong Show. Let's go, let's go. Wanna say the Imminent show. So
all right, we ready to get going and get to know your Hall of Famers, boys?
Let's rock and roll.
Okay.
Always.
We're on the final member of the 9-player 1947 Hall of Fame class in the Get to Know Your Hall of Famer series. It's where we're taking a look at the career, life, and hobby markets of every single one of the Hockey Hall of Fame players. And we start at the beginning in the inaugural 1945 Hall of Fame class. Eddie Shore is the player that we'll profile today. We'll do a quick bio, state the case as to why you should care about him, then take a look at his hobby market. Phil, any questions?
Today, surprisingly, I do not have any questions. Let's get her going.
Oh,
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I think the hat does make you more reserved, Phil.
I feel smarter. Do you think I'm like, no, I don't know. Like my brain looks bigger in the hat, right?
Yeah, I got that. Okay.
There you go.
All right, let's learn about Eddie Shore. Edward William Shore lived from 1902 to 1985. He was born in Canada, was a defenseman, and over a 19-year NHL career that lasted from 1924 until 1943. He played for the Regina Capitals, Edmonton Eskimos, Boston Bruins, and New York Americans. And I think, I don't know if all those were at the NHL. Probably not. Maybe that was a little bit of a mistake. Most of his career was played at the Bruins, though. 2-time Stanley Cup champion. 551 career NHL games. Shore scored 105 goals. Added 179 assists for 284 points. Shore was a 7-time selection as an NHL first-team All-Star. A 4-time Hart Trophy winner. His number 2 is retired by the Boston Bruins, and of course, he was elected to the Hockey Hall of Fame in 1947. Now, when okay, here's kind of a crazy story. I don't think you're going to believe it. Do you guys want to learn how the NHL All-Star Game started?
Sure.
What if we said no?
You don't have a choice. What would you guess is the reason as to why the NHL All-Star Game started?
Ooh, why? Well, I don't think that's a very unique thought to put the best of something in one room and figure it out. That's why I said, is that revolutionary thinking for the NHL All-Star Game?
No, it is common sense, but it's not the reason why.
Oh, I bet you it has something to do with amateurism.
No, actually not. It's crazier than that. But here we go. In Boston Garden on December 12th, 1933, Eddie Shore ended the career of Toronto Maple Leafs star Ace Bailey when he hit Bailey from behind. When Bailey's head hit the ice, he was knocked unconscious and went into convulsions. Moments earlier, Maple Leafs teammate King Clancy upended Shore with a hard check as he rushed up the ice. Angry, dazed, and thinking he was going after Clancy, Shore rushed at Bailey intent on revenge.
Oh.
In retaliation, the Leafs tough guy Red Horner punched Shore, whose head hit the ice as he fell from the blow. Shore was knocked unconscious and required 7 stitches, but was not seriously injured. Well, I think in today's we would know you're pretty seriously injured.
He's seriously injured. They just didn't know. Yeah.
Ace Bailey was rushed to the hospital in critical condition with a fractured skull and was operated on for more than 4 hours. There were many fears he could possibly die. He came out of a coma for the second time 10 days later and then made a full recovery, but he did not play professionally again. When he was assured that Bailey would survive, league president Frank Calder suspended Eddie Shore for 16 games. An all-star benefit game was held at the Maple Leaf Gardens on February 14th, Valentine's Day, 1934, which raised $20,909 for Ace Bailey and his family. Bailey and Shore shook hands and embraced at center ice before the game began. 13 years later, the NHL introduced an annual all-star game.
Wow, that was great, Josh. I never knew that.
Yeah, that is... What a brutal sequence. Can you imagine being in the stands for that?
I would want to be. Does Eddie Shore play in the All-Star game?
I think that's him right there in the Bruins shaking Ace Bailey's hand.
So he gets indirectly rewarded?
I guess. Yeah.
Okay, well.
Okay, so here's why you should care about Eddie Shore. Eddie Shore is iconic for his aggressiveness, obviously, toughness, and defensive skill. He was called both Old Blood and Guts and the Edmonton Express. Shore's 4 Hart trophies are still the most ever by any NHL defenseman. And he's tied with Herb Gardner as the oldest players to ever win the Hart Trophy at 35 years old. Shore redefined the role of defenseman, contributing offensively while remaining a punishing force in his own zone. Shore led the Bruins to their first Stanley Cup in 1929, cementing their place as one of the NHL's premier franchises. His fierce competitiveness and willingness to sacrifice everything for victory defined the gritty ethos of early NHL hockey. And finally, his dominance as a defenseman set a benchmark for others, inspiring legends like Bobby Orr. I didn't add this in my notes, but I read, you know how periodically over the last 25 years, there's been all these NHL's greatest 100 players lists.
Mm-hmm.
When either the NHL or Hockey Writers or somebody did the list in 1998, they had Eddie Shore at number 10 of the greatest 100 players of all time. And it's crazy to think that he's won 4 Hart trophies as a defenseman is a lot, of course.
I think I get him confused with Eddie Shack. I know different eras, different players, I get it. It's just the name Eddie Shore. I'm like, oh yeah, that's a famous name. And I'm like, wait a minute. I don't think I know anything about Eddie Shore, or didn't before Josh busted out some good facts.
When I hear his name, I think of
sitcom.
Yeah, a sitcom, or like Frankie Valli in the Four Seasons, like a singer from like the 1950s or 60s. Like Eddie Shore and the Zambonis.
That's awesome.
All right, let's look quick at Eddie Shore's hobby market. Now, his rookie cards appeared in 1933, even though his career began in 1924. He had a card in the 1933 O-Pee-Chee set that came in 4 different versions, each with a uniquely colored background. There's blue, green, orange, and red. And the highest selling copy is this SGC 9. This is the blue background, which sold for $16,800 US this past May in 2024.
Wow.
Have an SGC 9 1933 card. That's pretty crazy. Now, there's also an Eddie Shore rookie in the 1933 Sport Kings set.
That's a great card. Look at that.
Another PSA 9. Or another 9. It's this one, PSA. So this PSA 9 is a high-selling copy, sold for $14,400 US in July of 2020. Then there's an Eddie Shore rookie in the 1933 V129 Anonymous set, a PSA 7. Highest selling copy sold for $13,000 US in October 2021.
All 3 cards are drastically different from each other, eh? The O-Pee-Chee, and the other 2.
Are they all the same photo though? Louis, go back real quick. I bet you they are.
No.
Oh no, actually. Interesting. Now, a couple non-rookies that I picked out. There's a 1936 O-Pee-Chee Series D A PSA 6 copy sold for as high as $2,225 US in 2022. And then a 1937 Worldwide Gum short card, PSA 5, highest non-copy, sold for $929 US in October 2021.
Looks like a villain there. Looks like he could be like a Marvel villain. Yeah. Lex Luthor, criminal mastermind extraordinaire.
Yeah. Kind of looks like a mugshot, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Oh, speaking of that, did I ever tell you? So I told you about kind of my one. Well, I have 3 family members that are kind of famous.
Kind of famous?
One of, well, kind
Would you trade 3 kind of famous for 1 really famous?
Well, that's my family, so no. But I don't. So Connie Madigan, the oldest NHL rookie, we've talked about him. Somebody just mentioned too. He was on Don Cherry was just talking about him on his podcast last week. That's kind of interesting. And then I got a cousin who's a photographer, who's pretty famous. But when we mentioned like mugshot, one of my dad's cousins was, I think, one of 7 or 5 wardens at Alcatraz.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow. That's you don't have to be so obtuse. What did you call me? Obtuse.
Yeah.
Shawshank.
And I never knew that. I never knew that until I'm at Alcatraz.
Whoa.
And they have a wall with all the portraits of the wardens that serve there. And I don't have the most common last name. And I see it's Paul Madigan. I'm like texting my dad. I'm like, look at this guy. Yeah, he's like, yeah, he's your cousin. It's like, oh, well, thanks for letting me know.
That's awesome, man. You should are you in touch with any of that part of the family or no?
No, I'm in this room, so I can't touch anyone. But
oh, hilarious dad jokes. So funny. What are you looking at, fuzzy britches?
Well, let's get to Hall of Famers, Eddie Shore. We'll move on. I think 1949 or 1950 is the next Hall of Fame class. We'll be moving on to that on next Monday's show. But got to go from Eddie Shore to week 11 of Who's Hot in the Struggle Bus. Each week we choose a player that's crushing it, stuffing the box score, helping their teams climb the standings in Who's Hot. Then we make way for the Struggle Bus, where we, need to do our duty. Phil, Louis, hockey card journalists, and point out players where the struggle is real. Because both Louis and Phil are scared. I guess I'll go first. It's a heavy burden for me on the show, guys. I have to be the best looking and most fearless. So
best looking, eh? We should have a vote. You know what? We shouldn't fight each other. We should just make our calendar and be done with it. I just want to be April. As long as I can be the cover for April, I'm happy.
Why April?
Do
I want to ask? Oh, okay. Oh. Yeah. Well, here's my pick for Who's Hot. I went with Dylan Guenther, I think for the second time this year. Makes his return to Who's Hot after putting up 6 goals, 4 assists, and 10 points over his last 6 games played. Here's what got me, though, and what tipped the scales for me in the favor of Dylan Guenther. He's just 21 years old, and if you look at the top 10 point producers over the past 2 weeks, he's the youngest by far. The second youngest in the top 10 is McDavid at 27, and again, Gunther's 21. So for young guys, I'm really tearing it up right now. On the season, Guenther has 16 goals, 16 assists for 32 points in 32 games played. That's an 82-game average of 40 goals, 80 points. Oh, no, 82 points. Currently, Gunther's playing on the Utah Hockey Club second line with Logan Cooley and Jack McBain. He is getting some time in the first power play unit, though. I think we're still waiting for the hobby guy of the Utah Hockey Club to emerge. The likely candidates would be Clayton Keller, Logan Cooley, and Guenther. Remember, I think it was Bedard that said he thinks Guenther will be a 50-goal scorer in the NHL after working with them this summer. So I don't know. Maybe it'll be Dylan Guenther. Who knows? He is a 2022-23 Young Guns PSA 10 pop 305 with a 30% gem rate, last over $90 US on December 21st. It's flat over the past month or so. So Dylan Guenther, the first player, DG, and Who's Hot? All right, Louis. Oh, you're sucking up to Phil. I see. Sucking up to Phil.
No. Yeah, no, definitely. Definitely not. My pick for Who's Hot is Linus Ullmark. However you want to say it.
That is an amazing photo. I just want to say it. Isn't that?
It's good, eh? Of Linus Ullmark. It's amazing.
Beautiful. So, holy cow, let's jump into Mr. Ullmark here. Right now, it's got to be the hottest goaltender in the NHL. Of his last 9 games, he is 8-1 with a 1.69 goals against average and a sparkling 944 save percentage. This long winning streak now brings Allmark up to 12-7-2 on the season, with a career high 3 shutouts, with a 2.37 goals against average and a 916 save percentage. Now, remember way back, Allmark was a 6th round pick by the Buffalo Sabres in 2012. He played 3 seasons in the Swedish Hockey League before he came back to the U.S. to play with Buffalo. He was up and down then between Buffalo and Rochester until the 2018-19 season. After 6 seasons with Buffalo, he signed a contract with Boston and became the second goalie in Bruins history with a 40-win season.
That's it? Hasek would be the first, I guess, eh?
Bruins.
Boston.
Oh, Bruins. I'm so sorry. I was thinking Buffalo. Okay, go ahead. Sorry.
Allmark went on to win the Vezina Trophy for the 22-23 season after going 40, 6, and 1 and leading the league with a goals against average at 1.89, save percentage of 938 in 48 starts. Then Allmark was traded to hopefully save the Ottawa Senators by Boston in June of 2024 for Jonas Korpisalo, Mark Kastelik, and a first-round pick in the 24 draft. He signed a 4-year, $33 million contract, so AAV of 8.25 with Ottawa in October. He is a 2015 Young Gun with a PSA pop of 621, gem rate of 35%, and the last sale in December was for $56.
Hey, Phil, was it 2 weeks ago or 3 weeks ago you wanted to kick him off your team and trade him for a bag of donuts?
Oh, yeah, the entire city. It was probably like a week ago. This city flip-flops pretty quick, yeah. Don't confuse me with other things you hear, right?
Oh, Louis.
What?
Phil was making some choice comments about Linus Allmark, wasn't he?
I will always do it. Yeah.
Sure.
I will
always
always make choice comments about things I love. It's a different thing. I would never want him traded. Of course, he's a top-notch goalie, man. Back to the when I yelled Hasek.
You got to take what Phil says, Josh, with a grain of salt. Just kind of let it ride. And everything seems to fix itself.
Yes.
He's done.
Yes, Louis.
Oh, so cute.
Absolutely. Would it be Tim Thomas on Boston, do you think would have? I know we don't know, but I thought maybe Andy Moog. No.
Oh, the other guy?
Yeah, I was curious.
Actually, yeah, I saw his name. I don't remember what it was. It wasn't somebody that was
Reggie Lemelin?
a big name.
Yeah, okay, I figured. Yeah.
While you're going, I'll look it up.
Yeah, I mean, it's probably Tim Thomas, but no. It's probably not. You said, eh?
Okay. All right, Phil, get this over with. Who's your pick for who's hot?
Yeah, listen, I tried not to go this way. I really did, but it's hard when they make it so easy. So my super awesome pick this week. You could have picked a better picture, dude. You picked the worst picture on the internet. You're a splat. Anyways, good listener. Josh is being a bully. So I picked Shane Pinto, and Josh picked the worst picture ever. So I normally wouldn't pick an Ottawa Senator. The good listener would know that Phil is very fair and tries not to be biased, because we're all biased. We're all human. We're all biological little animals running around here, a bunch of monkeys. But I have to say here, my pride is on the line, and Shane needs to step it up. And he has. Boys, he did just that. So Shane Pinto has had 9 points total this entire season, but in his last 5 games, he's gotten 7 of them. So he's hot, man. He's on fire. What does this tell us? This tells us Shane Pinto knows how to play hockey and is coming out of his yippee slump. The point accumulation comes to no real surprise to the hardcore Ottawa Senators fan, but I know a lot of fair weather hockey fans are like really surprised right now, because where did this guy come from? So it was just a matter of time before Shane found his rhythm, and he shows the NHL he's here to stay, he's here to play, and he's here to lay bets. Whoops, sorry, too soon. He's here to score goals. Sorry. It's funny because we have a betting company that sponsors our team.
Yeah.
So poor Shane gets the butt end of that. But anyways, Not only is he racking up the biscuits and the apples, he's also tied in second in the entire league with a +7. There we go. So some wise men would say this translates to smart hockey IQ, as the pop culture of the media would say. But I'm going to say it too. He's got high hockey IQ.
What?
Shane Pinto is a 2021-22 Young Guns, and his PSA 10 has a pop count of 348 with a gem rate that last sold for $24 USD on December 7th. Listen, Josh is writing things in my script and trying to get me to say them, and I'm not going to say them. I don't read ahead like you guys. Anyways, it's up 56% in the past month. Obviously, it's been the last couple of days, but it's also been down 47% in the last 3 months. So there's that. Yeah.
Your other 40 goal winner for the
40 game winner
winner was Pete Peters.
Oh, don't know who that
82-83.
Well, there she is, boys. Struggle bus is pulled up right on time. Yep. The first NHL player on this week's struggle bus, I think, with Olen Zellweger. Oh. Now, Cutter Gauthier is probably the biggest name as far as Ducks rookies go this year, but there was buzz around the 20-year-old defenseman Olen Zellweger. In his last 10 games, though, 0 points. Now, I haven't seen any articles or social posts or reports from pundits that are speculating anything is like quote unquote wrong with the young defenseman. He's just not putting up any points over his past 10 game stretch. On the season, he's got 4 goals, 10 points in 29 games played. Now, I think here's like where some of the hype came from on Zellweger. So last year he played primarily with the San Diego Gulls in the AHL, and he was a producer there, putting up 12 goals, 25 assists for 37 points in 44 games played. And then if you look back even further, in his 3 prior WHL seasons, he was more than a point per game player each year. So I don't know, maybe still getting his sea legs, who knows. It is interesting, though, that when the Ducks made the trade for Jacob Trouba, they did pair him with Zellweger. And I wonder if it has to do with Zellweger being more offensive-minded, putting Trouba back there should give him, you would think, right, a little bit of more freedom.
Trouba's been doing good.
Yeah, push the puck there. So we'll see. Zellweger does get time in the second power play unit as well. It's just never fun to see one of the Series 1 Young Guns from a set that's just out struggle like he has out of the gate a little bit. But if you're a Zellweger stan, I don't know, maybe it's a good time to get him on the cheap right now too. So Olen Zellweger is a 2024-25 Young Guns. PSA 10 popped just 17 with a 26% gem rate. Yikes. Last sold for $86 US on December 19th. Now, there's only been 4 total sales of the 17 PSA 10s, and the last 3 have been in the $75 to $85 range. So there you go. Olen Zellweger, first rider of the struggle bus for week 11. Louis.
Hey.
Oh, geez.
Hold on.
Glad we got a big bus.
I'm glad you did that, because forever, until I read the name, I always thought it was Owen, not Olin. And and every time I hear his name, I can't help think of Renee Zellweger. So
Renee Zellweger, she was a babe, eh? She was a babe back in the day. But then someone said this after Jerry Maguire. They said, "Doesn't it always look like Renee Zellweger has to like bust out a fart, like the way her face looks?" And I was like, "Yep, that's ruined forever." Yeah, so
she has resting fart face.
Resting fart face.
That's hot.
Who's coming with me?
There we go. All right, Louis. You put on the struggle bus. It looks like a lot of people, but they deserve it. I'm mad.
A lot of people. I
love
put
this
whole hockey team. The Minnesota Wild.
We suck.
You're all right. You're at 10 now. You lost 10.
Yeah, we had last 2, and then we've lost like 8 in a row.
You gave all the wins to us.
Yeah. Well, the Wild slippage continues. Like a wet pair of underwear. Minnesota hadn't even lost.
Whoa.
What?
Slipping like a wet pair of underwear?
Like a skid mark.
Oh, I thought you meant
Okay.
itchy, like bathing suit on too long, you know? Itchy bum.
No.
Okay.
So the Wild hadn't even lost 2 straight until this homestand, and everything started to fall apart. I was thinking, is this the mountain climber reaching the peak and falling to his demise? I wish I had the soundbite from Price is Right, but picture it in your head right now. Thank you. Though the Wild have had an unbelievable season, one of their best yet, even with injuries happening on and off since the start of the season. They've somehow managed to find a way through it until recently, when it finally seems like these injuries are finally catching up, and now there's 5 regulars out of the lineup. Also, doesn't help to have the Gus Bus out of the lineup, one of the top tenders in the season, of the season so far, with some sort of lower body injury. They're not disclosing anything. The only thing it says, if you look them up, it says out. Doesn't even say lower body anymore.
Yikes.
So Gus had been on fire with 14 wins and 2 shutouts in 22 games. He holds a 224 goals against and a 922 save percentage. In the last 6 games, the Wild are 1-5. They have lost to Edmonton 7-1. They beat the Flyers 4-1. Then a loss 3-2 to the Knights. The Panthers lost 6-1.
Ooh.
Lost to Utah 2-1, and 2 nights ago 5-0 to the Jets. So the Wild have been outscored 24-6 in this stretch.
Oh God.
Yikes.
That's bad, boys. And I'm a Sens fan.
True. Regardless, they're still playing strong. They have a record of 20-10-4, still one of the best in the league. But current rankings place the Wild now in 4th, behind the Capitals, the Jets, and the Devils.
Yuck.
So that is my pick for the struggle bus.
Yeah, you got Brock Faber taking a puck to the neck.
Yep. Thought he was
His
going to
family thought he died. Do you see the Athletic article?
He couldn't catch a breath. He couldn't hardly breathe. And next thing you know, he's back out on the dang ice again.
Joel Eriksson Ek is hurt. Half that photo's hurt.
Right.
Always happens in Minnesota. This is what Minnesota teams do. They, you start off and you're like, I'm not going to get my hopes up. I'm 47 years old. I've been through this my whole life. Oh, I love this team.
Have the Vikings ever won a Super Bowl?
No.
Stop.
No, I don't know. I'm not a huge
we lost
guy.
4 Super Bowls. We've been there 4 times.
Hey, like the Bills, just not 4 years in a row.
Yeah. I think.
Yeah.
All right, Phil, who do you got on the struggle bus?
All right. I'm sorry, Mika. I have to do, and I love you, buddy, but Mika Pajama Dad, also known as Mika Zibanejad. This big Swede, 6'2", that's 6 feet 2 inches for you American friends. He's had a rough year overall, and it's even been, I've been trying to avoid it, but it's been really bad, especially in his last 5 games. So he's only had 2 points in his last 5 games, which, it's not terrible, but when you're supposed to be one of the best point producers on your team, it's terrible. I think the Rangers brass are looking for a little bit more of an offensive output for their $8.5 million a year player. He's got one of those funny contracts, though, that's front loaded. So I think he's actually only getting paid $1 million this year, and the rest is like signing bonus money. I'm not sure. Look at that, not cap friendly, but the other one there. I don't know. I saw an advertisement about a month or 2 ago of him doing like a promoting DJ thing, and he did that stuff in Ottawa as well when he was a prospect. But a big part of the narrative here in Ottawa was like, get better at hockey and like develop into the player you can be, then worry about your DJ stuff. So I always wonder, because he's in the mecca of like nightlife at New York, and I know he's like really, really taking it. So when I saw taking it in, when I saw that like promotional ad a couple months ago and he's not having a great year, I don't know, just his optics doesn't look good, so I'm just throwing that in there. And is he even any good? Like Kevin Costner's got a rock band, but like I don't think they sell CDs. I think people just go to see Kevin Costner in a band because it's like gimmicky. Is Zibanejad even any good at being a DJ? I don't know. Who cares? I'm throwing
Can
that
I,
in.
can I ask an insensitive question?
Yeah, well, I'm being insensitive. We might as well keep going.
Thank you. What makes a good DJ?
Oh, I don't know. Yeah, I don't. The more you do this, and you do like the big drop, and being a good-looking woman or man also helps. But I guess Mika's good. He kind of looks like Jesus in some pictures. But anyways, I guess I'm being a bit unfair, and spinning records or something is pretty cool. But I would think priorities would matter more, so he should maybe do a little more practice on the ice. Maybe he is. I don't know. Yeah, also maybe Laviolette went to one of his concerts and thinks he sucks because Mika is only playing 12 to 14 minutes total ice time recently, which is not good. It's the lowest he's ever been since he joined the Rangers in 2016. So something's going on. Something's not going great. I know the Rangers aren't playing good hockey either, but it's trending not good.
Hey, you're right. He does kind of look like Jesus in this picture here.
Yeah, man. Yeah. So Pajama Dad is a 2011 Young Guns. I got tons of them if anyone wants any. With a PSA 10 pop count of 206 and a 55% gem rate. Last sold for $72 American dollars on December 12th, down about 40% in the past 3 months.
Were you upset when he left the Senators, or were you ready for a fresh start?
Yeah. I didn't want him to I didn't want him to go. And when they traded him, I wasn't too happy, which sucked. So, I mean, we got back Brassard. He was good.
Yeah.
But he didn't last. Derek Brassard. I think we got back. I think we also gave up a first or second round. I don't think that was good. Derek Brassard wasn't that good.
Is there a guy that left you in however long you've loved the Senators? Is there a guy that's left that's gutted you?
Yeah, Marian Hossa. Gutted. The consolation prize is a big part of my anger and rage now.
Yeah. We won't mention that. It's close to Christmas. We don't need to mention that.
Yeah. Unless you want me to be Scrooge. Tell me, Spirit, what day is it? But it's Christmas.
You can have a hat. You got either, is that a Tiny Tim hat or a Scrooge hat? What is that?
I'm not Tiny Tim. I'm Scrooge all the way, man. Tiny Tim. Dude, I can run, okay?
That's who's hot in Struggle Bus for Week 11. And who's hot? We had Dylan Gunther, Linus Allmark, and Shane Pinto. And then on the Struggle Bus, we had Olin Zellweger, the entire Minnesota Wild, and all the stupid fans for getting sucked into believing in the team, and Mika Pajama Dad. Is that a doorbell that I heard?
Yeah, I'm not. That's the second one, and I'm not getting this one. I don't care.
Okay. Jeez, Phil, you're popular today.
I don't know what's going on. It's Sunday. Leave me alone. It's the Lord's Day.
Oh. Okay. Got to make a mention for Gongshow partner Slab Sharks. We're thankful for their support of our show. The current Slab Sharks weekly eBay auction is live. Ends this upcoming Thursday night. Almost 1,900 cards to choose from in this week's auction. Lots of bangers, like always. We did what we do. We each went through the auction, picked out a couple of our favorites. As I was voted as the person on our show most likely to defeat a grizzly bear in a fist fight, I'll go first. Right, Phil?
You got it.
Yeah.
I'm not biting. I'm not biting. I guess I bit. I guess I just bit.
You did it. You bit hard. Great. I like this 2020-21 Upper Deck Kirill Kaprizov Young Guns exclusives out of 100 BGS 9.5. I cheer for Kirill and not the Wild at this point. Not only a big Kaprizov card, but a great looking card in my humble opinion as well. So yeah, I like the red. Kind of a color match.
It's birdie.
The accent. Yeah. Then I think this card is awesome. It's another 2020, but it's an ultimate collection. Billy Smith, jumbo patch auto inscribed 1/1 raw. Now we just did the Islanders Hobby Mt Rushmore. Billy Smith was on it. It's got a huge game used patch, and it's inscribed 93 Hall of Fame Hoff. I don't know, fantastic card. You guys like this card?
Cool.
I think you have a little crush on Billy Smith.
Yeah.
I think you like the Islanders logo. I think you like that he's kind of like a raw goalie, a mean goalie. And because I got a Billy Smith card and you grabbed it out of my hands. You're like, wow, Phil, this is really cool. And you just kept looking at it. And,
Which one was that? I forget about it.
The Billy Smith. Oh, my Exquisite.
Oh yeah.
Because he put a nice little. He put a not an inscribed. Well, I guess that would be inscribed, but he put an additional thing he didn't have to do.
Oh, that's nice of him.
I like that patch looks old.
Yeah. Well, it
Whether
would have to be if it's game used.
I know. I'm just saying. I like that it looks old.
Okay.
It's got a good goalie name too, right? Hey, Billy, you stopping the puck?
Billy boy.
Yeah, I'm stopping the puck. I'm Billy Smith.
Louis, what are your 2 favorites?
First one, Phil. Pay attention. You just picked up your McDavid 2005 Upper Deck Young Guns OVI Raw. There's 2 of them. One can be yours, buddy. Isn't this a hard one to find raw too?
Yeah, but I'm not doing Young Gun Raw because I'm a card snob, and off eBay I can't tell, right? There's a couple of I want to see. I'm a corners guy. I like corners better than centering for my modern stuff, so I want to see nice crisp corners. I want to see a 45-degree right angle.
Sure. Well, if anybody out there is looking for raw OVI Young Guns, here's your chance there. Number 2, 2022 Upper Deck Parker's Champions, Sid the Kid, veteran 3-color patch auto, short print. I guess I don't know. It's out of 25.
I know whose card this is. This is Marco's card. Marco bought a card off of Grant at GP Sports, and then he tried to sell it to me. But what Grant didn't tell Marco was I already have one of these. So I guess Marco's he threw in the towel and he put it on auction. Sorry, buddy.
Well, if anybody out there is looking for Marco's Sidney Crosby out of 25,
I'm assuming it's his. Yeah. I'm assuming I could find out, but I won't.
Ready, Phil?
Oh, is it my turn?
Gonna be, yeah, right now.
Sorry, I was looking at that sexy Sidney Crosby auto on your card, but then I found my card and it's way better. Well, none of them are our cards. So my first pick is a 2017-2018 Upper Deck Splendor Sid the Senior Crosby black and white card. It's out of 27. I have always loved black and white cards. The only ones I can think of are the canvas ones in my head. So when I also do not like the design of Splendor cards as well. So when I saw this, I didn't even realize it was a Splendor card till I started writing about it. And I was like, oh my God, it's not a cup card. Well, it is a cup card, but it's a Splendor card. So you're looking at, if you're listening, this is a vertical card. It's black and white of Sydney. It's got a mysterious haze around him, kind of like a fog. It puts this aura of mystique around Sydney, and his autograph is over the bottom half of him where it's faded out the most. So it's just a perfect placement for an auto. It does have these 2 black lines on the sides of it. I don't know. Maybe it closes in the picture for your focus. I think the card would be a lot nicer without any of the black, but I'm not really a graphic designer, so what the heck do I know? This card is amazing. The autograph is phenomenal. The patch is chunky. It's game used. The autograph is bigger than normal. What is there not to like about this card? I'll tell you one thing I don't like about it. I don't like saying the word Splendor. I don't know what a Splendor is. I want to spend less, not more. Anyways.
Can I ask a question about this?
Sure.
For both of you. How would this look if they use a yellow marker to sign his name?
It'd have to be canary yellow.
It'd have to match the color of because what I like about this card and the photo or image of Crosby being black and white is it really makes the patch pop.
Yeah, and the auto, man. It's a beautiful card. Yeah. Beautiful card. I'm not going for it, but because it's going to get expensive. Current bid's $335. No idea if that's a good price for these cards. I don't have, excuse me, I burped. I don't have my finger is not on the pulse of, I don't want the S word of their cards, but I think they carry a pretty hefty premium. I mean, I know a few buddies that like them a lot, but I could see this card going for over $500-600 easy. I mean, it should. If it doesn't, I'd feel silly for not going for it. But yeah, that's my first pick. My second pick.
Wait, I have another question about this.
Okay.
The other thing that I don't want to say bugs me, but kind of does about Splendor is that they're in the cup. So now I don't think I would complain if I bought a tin of the cup and got this card. That would be a pretty nice hit. But do you really want to get a Splendor card in a tin of the cup? You want to get a cup card, don't you?
Well, why can't we just call this a
No.
cup card? Like, it is a cup card. Where do you get Splendor? From the cup.
Well, Splendor was its own set, and then they folded it into the cup.
Yeah, but now it's in the cup, so it might as like, okay, no, you're right. I mean, Exquisite isn't the cup, and that's in, yeah.
Yeah, because the cup has to be the biggest set, so they can't have anything bigger. So anything that looks like it could be more prestigious than the cup, they have to kind of fold into it.
This could be an Exquisite card. Don't get rid of the black borders, get rid of Splendor, and just put Exquisite, like kind of like half opacity the way it is. This looks like an Exquisite card, 100%. Consolidate the brands. Anyways.
That looks, yes, you're right. That does look more like an Exquisite. But the one here, I know this is your favorite thing when I do this, but that's Splendor.
Yeah.
You know, Phil, you loved that one.
Yeah, but we're friends. Maybe in the
Well,
moment.
here's my point on that, though, is not that I don't like the card. That's a really awesome card. I'm saying if I ponied up $1,000 to buy a box of the cup,
and this was the best thing you got out of it.
Well, yeah, I want to get a cup card out of it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I'm picking up what you're putting down, Joshy.
Okay, number 2, Phil.
All right. I'm not a big. So you're looking at a Mark Messier card from 2019. It's a clear-cut 1990 tribute to the 1990 design of Upper Deck, which everybody knows is my favorite. So if you're a fan of the podcast, you already know that I keep picking clear-cut retro tribute Upper Deck cards. I'm sorry, I can't stop. I'll give you a few reasons why I like this card. You know what? I want to go back to something. If I used to hate on clear cut a lot, there are so many roads and avenues you can take in clear cut. It really does have something for everybody. If you don't like the technology, okay, fine. I get it. What is it? PEMGLMNOP tech?
PETG, but you're close.
PETG or clear cut or acetate, as you like to call it, but this is from the clear cut product. So a few things I like about this card, this moose card. So this is an amber money moose. This is Mark Messier, the moose. Come on, boys, focus here. So the design is the greatest design of all time, even though I am aware it is a little cheesy. I still love it. It's close to my heart. It is very cheesy. I understand that. And this is also pretty cool because this is a different picture than his 1990-91 Upper Deck. Thank you, Louis. So Louis put up a very similar picture, which was obviously taken in the same, same round of shots, because you got Mark Messier with his hat on. You got him with the Stanley Cup, and same jersey, same everything. So I think they picked a better picture than his original base.
That is awesome. That they took the care to do that. A lot of times we feel that they maybe don't. And so that's pretty amazing.
Someone clearly took the time to do that. And I think I would love, I'm telling you, I am not an observant person, and I observed this. So if Upper Deck and their, I don't know what divisions do what, but if they could like go back to their old camera rolls and look up old, like how cool would it be to get some Gretzky shots from the same game of famous, I know his WHA picture is in his 79-80, but there's another picture in that. They could do a tribute or retro, or I really like how someone clearly took the effort to get a different picture, and I noticed, and other people have noticed too. So that's awesome, man. Big fan of that. Current bid is $115, and yes, I will be going for this card, but I probably won't spend more than $150. Mark Messier sells pretty cheap. I don't know why. I'm not a big Mark Messier guy, but I like this card. It's got the Stanley Cup in it, and look how passionate his smile is. I'm not a big fan, but hey, man, he just won the greatest gift life could give. So,
well, he's what I call the ultimate hobby buddy, where like half of his cards are autos, but it's always with somebody else. It's always Mark Messier and Wayne Gretzky, Mark Messier and Yari Curry.
Yeah, I don't know. There's something about him growing up. I just wasn't, I never gravitated. And he was like a polarized, he was a strong figure, you know? And
yeah.
I don't know.
You think you'd like him?
Yeah, maybe.
Well, Canadians like Phil, even less hairy ones, use Slab Sharks to sell their cards on eBay because they take all the hassle out of doing it. Honestly, they just make it easy. They take the photos, complete the listings, answer any buyer questions, even if they're weird. They'll hunt down payment from winners, ship to both Canada, the US, and handle any post-sale issues. And most importantly, they have your back when Canada Post shut down because of Phil.
Yeah.
They've stepped in. hate a huge amount of additional shipping fees. They did. And they got all the cards shipped while all that was going on. Good to them. That's very, very nice. Right. Plus, your cards get listed in one of the biggest hockey auctions on the planet. So head to slabsharks.com today for complete consignment info, including payout rates, and to get the process started. Hobby news.
Hobby news.
Hobby news.
Ooh.
Yeah, I went deep.
Good job, guys.
Ooh.
Very, 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 very well. Well, got to start out. Ovi, close to returning. You guys see this?
Yes.
Yes, sir.
I think we need to start like a GoFundMe to get this guy studied by science. How is he ready to come back? It's incredible. He's been cleared for full contact. I think technically he could be playing right now, but the team wanted him to wait through the holiday break. He's been out for just about a month with a fibula fracture. Oh, wow, looks pretty brutal there.
Where'd you find that picture? It looks like you broke his leg or something.
That's the fibula fracture.
I did. I spent a lot of time on that.
Josh broke it.
No, I thought old people like with dad bods that drink Pepsi on the bench that they don't heal fast, but apparently
you get the right doctor. You get the right doctor. You can do anything you want.
Now remember, Phil, in 18 games, he's got 15 goals and 25 points.
Mm-hmm.
So they're targeting for him to come back on the 28th. That'll be on Saturday against Phil's Maple Leafs.
Good day.
Maybe we'll light him up, Phil. You never know.
I hope he scores 5 goals in that game. That's how serious I am about not caring if he gets it or not. I could care less. I want him to get 5 goals against
we'll get
the
back
blue
to that.
team. Yeah.
I want him to pick up where he left off. I think we need, it's fun to see the Silver Sniper. Can we trademark that?
Silver Sniper.
That's got to be a grandpa's nickname at some old age home.
Good job for that, Phil. Yeah, so now that I'm going to ask you this. Now that he's making a speedy recovery, you want to change your stance, Phil, on Ovi breaking Gretzky's record, or
No.
are you determined to go down with the ship on that one?
No, I'm not determined. The more people bug me, the more determined I am just to make them upset. I don't actually care, but sure.
I think you do care. I think you're lying. I think you hate everyone that likes Ovi. I think you disrespect everyone that likes Ovi.
I love Ovechkin. I'm a huge Ovechkin fan.
You just hate his fans. That's what you.
Well, that might be fair. I don't think he'll, especially not this year. My favorite.
I think it's happening this year.
Is everyone like, oh man, he was totally on the way to do it, but if he didn't break his leg, like that is my entire point. Thank you, everybody who said that. If he didn't, those 2 letters are amazing.
If Ovi breaks a record this year, can we hire a person to shave AM34's portrait on your chest hair?
No. No. I'll do a lot. I am a full-blown exhibitionist, as you know, but nothing blue team oriented. No.
Bobby Louie.
I'll do anything.
It could happen this year.
Anything's possible. It's just going to be a hell of a lot harder now.
I'll make a bet. Find a fun bet. I'll wear a dress. I'll even put on makeup for a podcast.
You want to wear a dress. You keep mentioning that. We don't even have bets, and you're like, I'll wear a dress. I'll wear a dress.
I'm trying to make an excuse.
I've been trying to find an event to wear my new outfit, and no one is biting.
Wear it to the cottage next time.
My evening gown.
All right. Ovi is a 2005-06 Young Guns PSA 10 pop 1,288, 34% gem rate. Last sold for $4,219 US on December 13th. It's down 3% in the past month, but up 14% in the past 3 months. Here's the 52-week lows and highs for this card. The low is 33,360, and the high is 5,188. So at 4,219, pretty much right at the midpoint.
3,300, not 33,000.
Oh, yeah, 3,300. Sorry. My bad. Moving along. So I saw this, and it kind of stopped me in my tracks. I'm not going to lie. I was surfing the web, as the kids like to call it, on NHL.com yesterday on Saturday before the Oilers faced off against the Sharks. And there's a very interesting headline on there. Now, I presume that the NHL owns NHL.com, and the headline says Con Hair, not as in hair like Phil's knuckles, as in HEIR, as an heir to the throne.
This was on NHL.com?
NHL.com.
Wow, that's huge.
And it says NHL on tap at McDavid to face Celebrini for the first time when Oilers host Sharks.
Interesting.
Now, not that highlighting the game is a big deal. It's the Con Hair part that really stood out to me. It insinuates, of course, that Celebrini could be the heir to the McDavid's throne as the NHL best player, and not the other Connor, where the NHL has had the thrown the kitchen sink and marketing him as the next biggest thing for what, 2 years now, something like that. And it's not that we should like lose our marbles, Phil. Don't lose your marbles over one headline.
Bedard probably did. If Bedard saw this, I'd love that. Yeah, I'd be like, good, challenge accepted.
Yeah. Well, here's my question, right? Could this be a signal that the NHL or NHL.com or the league's marketing machine might be starting to hedge their bets a little bit against Bedsy?
Of course.
And maybe slide some chips over to the way of Celebrini? Yeah, because
if they were smart, if the NHL was smart, they would take a bunch of them. They would take Bedard, Celebrini, Yakimchuk, and the rest of them, and they would like make like 12. I don't know. They just I would market the crap out of a group of them. You know, Colby, stop it.
And no Mitch Koff mentioned there either. But again, it's just more that, and even the play on words like con, because they spelled the CONN. And boy, it seems like a shot at Bedard a little bit too.
Yeah, I love it. It's great. It's ribbing. That's what sports is. It's ribbing.
You just got to think that, that again, they've had this whole marketing machine behind Bedard, and that somebody at this point is like, oh, this is not going great in year 2. Maybe we should, because if Bedard doesn't work out, right, the show must go on. So they're going to find somebody else to put the emphasis behind. And it seems like it just really seems like to me that they're hedging their bets a little bit right now. Now, so here, go ahead, Louis.
Hey, at least this was put out by NHL.com, because could you believe the S storm if other places put this out? This would be your next collusion or price jacking, and now we're gonna bump the price up of series 2 or 3 because Pellegrini's taken off, and
yeah,
it's a popularity thing too.
Phil, if you were in charge of if you were the VP of marketing for the NHL,
fire them all.
Okay, after that, would you start hedging away from Bedard a little bit, or would you be doubling down at this point?
Are those my only 2 options?
Well, what would a third be?
What I said earlier, I would get all of them.
Okay. So you would try to equally promote.
Yeah, I wouldn't put my eggs in one basket. Not a chance. I'd pick like the top 6 and
who would those be in your mind? If you're in charge of NHL marketing, you got to promote 6. It doesn't have to be like guys that are 22 and under.
Well, I'm going to be biased. I'm going to pick Yakimchuk, but he's not in the NHL, so I can't do that. That sucks.
And only you've heard of his name.
What you got your Celebrini, you got your Bedard, your Cutter Gauthier. I'm not sure. You have who's a big boy? McMichael's lighting it up. Well, he's not young though.
He's 24.
Yeah.
Mitch Koff, right? You'd have to throw Mitch Koff.
Sorry, Neil. I keep forgetting. Who's the kid on?
Well, you have Fantilli. Are you done on Fantilli? You think he's a bust at this point?
I haven't watched him play a lot, man. I watched him play more earlier, and I haven't. I've been watching more Penguins. I've watched like the last 4 Penguins games. Yeah.
Logan Cooley,
Matthew Nice.
Beniers is crapping. He hasn't done much.
Well, and actually, Bedard's been pretty decent. I actually considered him for who's hot. I think you could have made a legitimate case, and could have been a feel good story. He's trending upwards. So now on the season, Bedard has 8 goals, 29 assists, goals and 29 points in 34 games played. So that's an 82 game pace and 19 goals and 70 points. I think it was like 14 goals last time we did a pace for him. So it is improving a little bit. Yeah. And honestly, if he goes back to struggling, I think you're just going to see more and more of the young guys promoted instead of Bedard in the NHL. I don't know, any closing thoughts on that or?
No, I feel I have not been paying as much attention as I should to the young prospect pool this year.
Yeah, Chicago is just so dismal. That whole team is terrible.
It's brutal. I would almost answer I appreciate the point you just made, Phil, but nobody's making you pay attention either.
Yeah,
right?
no, I usually do, but
no, but what I'm saying is like if you have to work to pay attention to these players, that's to me part of an indictment that nobody's really lighting the world on fire, right? And kind of forcing that attention. But
yeah, like it should come organically and we should just like know this. I'm like, oh yeah, who is there again? It's like,
that's a sign.
Yeah.
Well, Bedard is a 2023-24 Young Guns, PSA 10 pop, 6,387, 44% Jeremiah Lessel for 571. So we're trending down still.
Going down.
On December 20th, up about 1% in the past 2 weeks, but down 27% in the past 3 months. All right, Louis, you found an interesting story.
I did. I never heard of it till I just came across this. NHL Quarter Century Team 2000 to 2025. So the NHL announces a plan to select and celebrate quarter century teams.
Yep.
So the NHL will honor its best players from the past 25 years in a multi-phased quarter century team selection and celebration. The campaign will be rolled out in 3 phases, with each accompanied by a robust content campaign across all NHL platforms to reflect selections and encourage fans to participate in the debate. Starting at the Discover NHL Winter Classic later this month, and are in January, right? Yeah. Continuing daily through January, the NHL will reveal each club's first and second quarter century teams. Both the first team and second team will consist of 3 forwards, 2 defensemen, and 1 goaltender. Each club's first and second quarter century team will be selected by a panel of media, retired players, and executives specific to that club.
Oh, cool.
Players under consideration for selection are those who have appeared in a game for the respective franchises since January 1st of 2000. Here's the schedule, subject to change, they say. I'm not going to read it off, but you can look at it on your screen.
Whoa.
There's every day, it's a new team. Shortly following the conclusion of the announcements, the focus will be turned to a league-wide fan vote from February 12th to February 26th. The fan vote will determine the top 25 players of the past 25 years, regardless of position, that will compromise the NHL quarter century team. Voting will be conducted on NHL.com and X. Fans will have 100% of the vote. Only players named to a club's first century team will be eligible for selection. The 25 players voted by fans to the quarter century team will be revealed on a date to be later determined. NHL Productions will also produce a 4 debate style studio shows around the players and highlights of the last 25 years, with the show scheduled to release in March.
Sounds like the NHL's version of Hobby Mt. Rushmore.
Yeah.
But it'll be fun, though. Phil, do you predict any Ottawa Senators on the 25 best players of the first 25 years of the 2000s?
Yeah, like half of them. Would it be all of them? Or maybe I don't get it. You mean
No.
of the 2000?
They're going to go team by team. So these are the best players the last 25 years, from 2000 to 25. Then ultimately there'll be a fan vote for the top, regardless of position, the top 25 players of the last 25 years in all the NHL. So you think 12 of those are going to be Ottawa Senators?
No. I think Erik Karlsson will be on there. He should be.
Is he still most identified as a Senator? Or
I hope so. In my heart, he is. He probably won't be on there. I mean, I'm so biased with him. I can't tell you. He's the first player I ever saw live that changed hockey to me. Yeah. And I've been going to hockey games since I've been a little kid. He took over a game, and I've never seen that before. I don't know, but he only got recognition so late in his career. The big 16-17 run there in Ottawa, and so he probably won't be on there. You think any Wild will be on there?
Well, I would say Kaprizov, but he's only played 5 of the 25 years.
Yeah.
You're going to get Koivu. You're going to get Gaborik.
Not on the overall top 10.
No.
On the Wild, though.
On the Wild, yeah.
Yeah. I'm talking about the overall.
Oh,
you know what I think we should do before this is announced? The 3 of us will come up with our 25, and then we'll see, once it's announced, who got the most right. Wouldn't that be fun?
Yeah, let's do that. That'd be fun.
Right on.
I'd love to do that. That'll be good.
All right, good job, Louis. Okay, boys, let's move on to Hobby Mt. Rushmore. Big day for a Hobby Mt. Rushmore series. Monster team to nominate the Pittsburgh Penguins. Because you always forget things, Phil. Hobby Mt. Rushmore is a series that we're doing for each team, where we nominate the 4 most deserving players based on their individual awards accomplishments with that team, their meaning to the franchise, fans, and community, and then finally their hobby market. Hence, Hobby Mt. Rushmore. Huge one, boys. Louis, you scared? You look scared.
Yeah, hold on. I got to do this really quick. I'm got to prepare for this one.
Oh, boy. Oh, he's getting the bucket on. Wow. Now, so maybe I'm just flush with overconfidence because I thought this one was pretty easy, but I guess we'll find out. Okay, here we go. The first player nominated to the Pittsburgh Penguins Hobby Mt. Rushmore is Tristan Jarry. Now, Jarry has spent all 8 of his seasons with the Pittsburgh Penguins stinking. It's a joke, Phil. It's a joke.
Oh my God. It's like, what is happening? I mean, he played well last night, but he didn't win.
Put your tongue back in your mouth.
Oh my God.
Oh, I thought this was the Scranton Penguins Hobby Mt. Rushmore. I'm sorry. The real first player nominated to the Penguins Hobby Mt. Rushmore is Super Mario Lemieux. Mario Lemieux played 17 seasons for the Pittsburgh Penguins. Lemieux joined the Penguins in 1984 as the first overall draft pick and quickly turned a struggling team into a powerhouse. He's the franchise leader in goals, assists, and points for now. That's key there. His 690 goals is 89 ahead of second place Crosby. Mario's just 3 assists ahead of Crosby with 1,033 with the team. And his 1,723 points is 92 ahead of Crosby, who's again in second place. Mario did this all in 915 career games with the team, which is a 1.833 point per game average. That's the second highest of all time to Wayne Gretzky's 1.921. He led the Penguins to their first 2 Stanley Cup victories in 91 and 92 over the North Stars. 91. Cementing their place among the NHL's elite. He was a Calder Memorial Trophy winner in 1985, 6-time Art Ross Trophy winner, 4-time Lindsay Award winner, 3-time Hart Memorial Trophy winner. God, Eddie Shore has more Hart trophies than Mario Lemieux. That's crazy. Well, Lemieux played with Gretzky, though. 2 Conn Smythe Trophy winner, Bill Masterton Trophy winner, 5-time NHL first All-Star team selection, 4-time NHL second All-Star team selection. And if that's not enough, Mario saved the entire franchise. In 1999, as the team faced bankruptcy, Lemieux purchased the Penguins, ensuring their survival and future in Pittsburgh. He was instrumental in securing a deal to build the PPG Paints Arena, solidifying the Penguins' long-term stability in the city. And in his 66 jersey is retired. Of course, Lemieux is a name synonymous with the Penguins hockey, making him a hero to generations of fans. And he's got a pretty big hobby market, as we know. Year to date, almost 23,000 Lemieux cards have sold on the secondary markets per card letter sales history. The highest, of those sales, 599 are for more than 500 US. And the highest selling Mario Lemieux card all time is this 1985 O-Pee-Chee PSA 10, sold for $80,100 US in January of 2021. Now, if you're wondering what's happened since pandemic times on this card, last sale of this card was $45,000 in September. It's down about a half.
Wow.
Since then.
Can I make a point?
Of course.
I'd like to point that he beat the living crap out of cancer as well. And a nice little Mario Lemieux fact is on his last day of chemo, he had a hockey game and he scored a goal on the same day. Yeah.
Wow.
It's something like that. Like, I know it's the day of. I don't. He might have even gotten 2 points. I don't know. But he had chemo on the day. I'm pretty sure he had I know he scored a goal for sure. He might have gotten an assist or two. Or he to me that's solidifies you as a real hero.
Oh man, amazing. Any comments about Lemieux, Baba Buckets?
Yeah.
So far, so good, bud.
Look at the headphones on his head. I didn't even notice that before.
You need your wife to take photos and send those to me post haste after this.
Negative.
Yeah, I wouldn't want my wife to see that. Well, you
All
already
right,
had the kids. You already had the kids, so you're okay, I guess.
The second player nominated to the Pittsburgh Penguins Hobby Mt. Rushmore, despite all Phil's protests, is Sidney Crosby. Sid's basically nipping at the heels of Lemieux's big franchise records. In 1,306 games played and counting, which is a franchise record, Crosby has 601 career goals, 1,030 assists, 1,631 career points, all second place in the record books behind Super Mario. He's a two-time Hart Trophy winner, two-time Art Ross winner, two-time Conn Smythe winner, two-time Maurice Rocket Richard Trophy winner, three-time Ted Lindsay Award winner, and Sid was presented with the Mark Messier Leadership Award in 2010, four-time NHL First All-Star Team selection, four-time NHL Second All-Star Team selection, three-time Cup champion, and a heck of a guy. Actually, I don't know if he's a good guy. Have you heard if he's a good guy, Phil, or not?
I've heard he's an amazing guy, and he does it quietly. One of those goes out to dinner on his own, leaves $100 tip, right? Doesn't say much.
Nice.
Yeah.
Sure. That's great to hear. Crosby is not just a player, but a symbol of excellence and dedication. Fans admire his work ethic, leadership, and sportsmanship, which inspire young and old. He's a once-in-a-lifetime player whose skill and vision elevate the game, creating unforgettable moments in Pittsburgh. Drafted first overall in 2005, he immediately became the cornerstone of the Penguins. His presence elevated the team's status to perennial contenders. Crosby is also an icon in the hockey hobby as well. He, along with Alex Ovechkin, really, I think, ushered in the modern era of collecting with their 2005-06 rookie class. Year to date, more than 31,000 Sidney Crosby cards have sold in the secondary markets per card letter sales history. 1,009 of those sales were for more than $500 US. And the highest selling Sidney Crosby card of all time is this 2020 Metal Universe 97-98 Retro PMG 101, Retro PMG Gold 101. PSA 8 that sold for $164,400 US in March of 2022.
That's insane that this is his highest paid. This would be 25th on my list of Crosby cards.
Okay, this card goes to auction today. Does it hit 40K? Do you think?
I don't know. I have no idea. I wouldn't think this would hit 15K. I mean, I don't know. I'm not a big 101 metal. It's too spread out. Metal's not as firm and I legendary status in my head. There's too. Every time I see a 101, I'm like, what year is that from? What the years matter now? You
have to remember though that it had been a few years since we had a metal product by the time 2020 came out, and when this card sold in 2022, there hadn't been a million PMGs like there are now.
Okay,
so
it doesn't do it for me.
It was the first 101 PMG.
Yeah, okay. Well, it's baked into the price there by quite a few decimal spots, I think.
Well, that's what it is. Okay. Oh, I want to do a quick sidebar here. So as I was doing this, and I'm thinking about Lemieux and Crosby, the thought of your team ever having a player like Mario Lemieux or a player like Sidney Crosby is pretty mind blowing to me. But to have two is crazy. And as I was going through their stats and accomplishments, I hadn't realized to the extent how kind of close they are on paper, right? Like literally in the next week, Crosby could pass Lemieux for the assist record. He's 90 points behind his points record with the team. And it got me thinking about, I wonder what the hobby thinks, like who's a better player at this point? Like, could it be like generational, right? Where us old fuddy-duddies maybe hedge towards Mario Lemieux, but anyone who's 25 and younger and seeing mainly Sidney Crosby play, would they think that he's like the greatest Penguin of all time? So we did one of our very famous hobby polls and asked our followers just that, who's better, Mario Lemieux or Sidney Crosby? Now, Phil, you have not seen the results, so I'm going to have you guess. Which player do you think our followers picked as the greatest all-time Penguin, Mario Lemieux or Crosby?
I think they would have picked Lemieux. I would have not answered. And if I was Sidney Crosby, I would get exactly the amount of points Mario Lemieux did, and I would retire after that game.
So you would have abstained from voting on this? Too controversial for you? Too emotional?
I don't know, man. So I'm not a big Lemieux guy at all. The cancer thing hit me hard when he got it, and he is incredible human. He's more of an incredible human than hockey player to me. So
why are you not a big collector?
I don't know. I've never Lemieux. Maybe the Quebecers just did it too much around me, and I'm like, I'm gonna stick to Gretzky cards then.
What is it? What are his French like magnifique or whatever? Is that what they call them?
I can't. I don't have the accent for it. Magnifique.
Magnifique. Okay.
Yeah.
So you're gonna say it was Lemieux that won the vote. Now, what percentage do you guess too? That I want you to.
I would guess it'd be 65-35 in Lemieux's favor. No, 60-40.
60-40. Okay. Wow, you're pretty close. The results are in. It was Lemieux by 66% of the vote, so 1/3.
I should have said 65-35. I thought it in my head.
Oh. So that doesn't surprise you at all, Phil. What did that surprise you at all, Louis?
No.
And I think that number represents the demographic of collectors. 65% are our age and older. Then 35 are and we have more money than the younger ones, right? On average. So we can buy
mustache as a mustache guy. Do you like mustache Sid or no?
I think it's so bad it's good. Right?
Really?
Yeah, it's so bad it's good. I love this mustache thing. I love all the women are like, no, it's so gross. I'm like, yeah, well, those mom pants. That's what those do to me. All these good-looking women wearing mom pants. What the heck's with that about?
What are mom pants?
What do you mean, what are mom pants? Well, the jeans, the high-waisted jeans.
Oh, mom jeans. I got you.
Mom jeans, yeah. Yeah, Money Moose wore them at the expo. I made fun of her. I was like, what are you wearing mom jeans for? She's like, I'm a mom. Well, that's a good answer.
Warning, the following footage may cause irrational excitement.
It's really loud.
Sorry.
That's okay.
I get yelled at for things being too loud and too quiet, and just how I roll.
It's like the Three Little Bears, Louis. It'll never be just right.
No.
Who's our Goldilocks?
Well, you want to wear a dress.
I'll be your Goldilocks. No touching.
Okay, back to the task. Why do we always go so off the rails at Hobby Mt. Rushmore? I don't know. The third spot on the Penguins Hobby Mt. Rushmore goes to Jaromir Jagr, as Phil likes to call him, but we'll say Jagr.
Jagr.
No, Jagr.
Jaromir Jagr.
Jagr Phil has. So with Phil, Jagr's played for like 1,037 years, but only 11 of those were for the Penguins. As a Penguin, he played 806 games, scored 439 goals, added 640 assists for 1,079 points. His 439 goals are the fourth most in franchise history. His 1,079 points, fourth most as well. With the Penguins, Jagr was a 5-time Art Ross Trophy winner, 1-time Hart Memorial Trophy winner, 2-time Ted Lindsay Award winner, 2-time Stanley Cup champion, 6-time NHL First All-Star Team selection, 1-time NHL Second All-Star Team selection. Jagr brought a unique blend of size, skill, and creativity that defined an era of Penguins hockey. His dazzling playmaking and scoring made him one of the most dominant players of the 90s. I think this kind of gets into what your respect for Lemieux and what happened with cancer, but after Mario Lemieux's health issues forced him to miss significant time, Jágr carried the Penguins, winning those 5 Art Ross trophies as the NHL's leading scorer and keeping the team competitive. Just like with Lemieux and Crosby, Jágr is an icon of the hockey hobby as well, one of its biggest stars and chases. Year-to-date, 17,000 Jágr cards have sold in the secondary markets per card letter sales history. 119 of those sales have been for more than 500 US. The highest all-time selling Jaromir Jágr card is this 2019-20 The Cup 17-18 rookie tribute patch auto out of 10 raw that sold for 6,968 US in March of 2022. This is a super weird top all-time sale too, isn't it? It's a rookie tribute.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. It's an odd, yeah.
It's a nice looking card. I don't like non-rookies that say rookie on them. I'm kind of anti that. I think a card like this is very confusing. If this is your first day in the hobby and you always love Jaromir Jágr, wouldn't you not be very confused by this card and think it's a Jágr rookie?
It's a bit of a circular conversation we always have, isn't it? Like, at what point do you take the training wheels off of the new thing for the person? You know, maybe if they put quotation marks, rookie.
Tribute.
I don't know, man.
Tribute on it, maybe. I don't know. Okay, one more player left. So I went with the final spot on the Penguins Hobby Mt Rushmore. Our favorite Russian with an Italian nickname, Evgeny Malkin.
Who else could you pick? Like? Yeah, you have no choice. You have to pick these 4 people.
I thought it was Louis thinks that I'm gonna get like crushed.
Well, Fleury, Marc-Andre, yeah.
And we'll get into that.
All right.
So let's talk about Malkin first. Currently in his 19th season as a member of the Penguins, he has 1,179 games with the team, second only to Crosby. 505 goals, third most in franchise history behind Lemieux and Crosby. 1,323 points, third as well. He's a 2-time Art Ross Trophy winner. Won the Calder in 2007. Conn Smythe winner. Hart Memorial Trophy winner. Ted Lindsay Award winner. 3-time NHL First All-Star Team selection. And like Sid, a 3-time Stanley Cup champion. He's one of the most skilled players in NHL history, combining size, strength, and finesse. His ability to dominate games with dazzling plays and clutch performances has made him a franchise pillar. And alongside Crosby, Malkin formed one of the greatest duos in hockey history. His ability to excel both with and without Crosby in the lineup provided Penguins with unmatched depth. Penguins fans revere Malkin for his passion, competitiveness, and sense of humor. His exuberant personality combined with his fiery play on the ice made him a beloved figure. Malkin has a pretty solid hobby market. I wouldn't say an exceptional one. Year to date, about 6,800 of his cards have sold in secondary markets per card letter sales history. 40 of those sales were for more than 500. The highest all-time selling Evgeny Malkin card is this 2006-7 The Cup, property of Game Used Stick Relic 101. PSA Authentic sold for 4,200 US in October 2022.
That's it, eh? Would have thought more than that.
So, okay, let's get into the snubs. And there's only really one snub that we can mention or that I can think of. We'll do a couple honorable mentions after that. Well, I have snub and honorable mentions.
Okay.
So, Flower, right? Now, he is a fan favorite, franchise leader in goal in both games played and wins, 3-time cup winner as well. A little bit bigger hobby market than Gino, but I just thought Malkin's contributions to the team were a little bit more significant, and his longevity in Pittsburgh give him an edge, because you can, I think, make the argument a lot of Fleury's hobby market comes from the Blackhawks or Wild or Golden Knights, right? All the teams he's played on. But okay, Louis, now's your shot. So you think I missed the mark here, picking Malkin over Flower? Is that what you're going with?
I'm picking Flower over Malkin.
Okay, why?
Well, his hobby market, I don't know. You did all this. You did all the stat stuff, but you said his hobby market's better?
little bit about 8,000 cards sold year to date versus 6,800.
Were you able? I know this is getting really technical, but were you able to take out any Blackhawks, Golden Knights, Wild stuff?
No, you can't do that. And the other thing that, and again, I'm not a huge Pittsburgh fan, but I do seem to remember that Flowers' tenure with the team wasn't like super even. Like there was some, I think the last Stanley Cup, like he was sharing he wasn't even technically the starting goalie, right? It wasn't Tim Thomas or something like that?
He wasn't the darling of the league while he was in Pittsburgh. All that romancing of Fleury is post Pittsburgh.
Mm-hmm. But I think you can make a case for him.
Mm-hmm.
So, but in your mind, Phil, you think Malkin is
yes,
close?
I would. I know where Louis is coming from, but I would absolutely pick Malkin. Yeah, if you're gonna start talking about Fleury that strongly, I would throw Chris Letang in there, right? That's how I would look at it. Anyway.
Well, because wasn't Fleury fighting with Matt Murray?
Oh, maybe it was Murray. Yeah, that he was.
We don't say that name in this house. Mr. Glass himself. Holy crap.
Cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then my honorable mentions were Chris Letang and Ron Francis.
No Gensel? No Kevin Stevens?
Well, you could, but they're so far away from.
They're the only other players I can think of them. I don't know, man. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I don't know both ways. I just wanted to come prepared for this one.
Martin I appreciate you. Yeah. All in all, pretty easy though. I thought it seemed very straightforward doing the Penguins. Well, who's next? So we have left in, I think, Metropolitan Division, right? Capitals, Hurricanes, Rangers, Flyers, or Blue Jackets.
Hurricanes. We keep Neil waiting. Don't pick the Flyers.
Yeah, no, don't pick. We should just skip the Flyers. We should do. I want to do. I want to do Washington.
All right. Well, you guys
Hurricanes first.
Ally Frady, baby, #1, best mullet ever.
I'm scared of a guy in a helmet, so we're gonna go Hurricanes and we'll go Washington.
Okay, fair enough.
All right. Moving on to new product releases, brought to you by our friends and partners at Mint Inc. Now, they've been going nonstop all month to help hobbyists get their Christmas lists check off. If you're in the greater Toronto area, there's probably still time. Get those last minute gifts. Maybe you're done though with your shopping. You did not procrastinate. You worked ahead. Well, reward yourself. Kick back, relax. Maybe join a break spot in one of their breaks after dark. Have some fun. You can do that from anywhere in the world, just on mintinc.ca. So for all your hobby box needs, singles, grading submissions, breaking, and more, go to mintinc.ca. Well, no release this week. Obviously, it's Christmas week.
Segment over.
We're done. No, we gotta check back. We've had a busy couple weeks, and one of those sets is a pretty big one, Artifacts. And as I like to do, we're gonna look at the top 5 very early sales about a week or so after release, and kind of gives you a barometer of what cards people are chasing, what players people are chasing, if any of the rookies are resonating with people. So we'll go through them now. Remember, all sales via eBay, which is basically all sales at this point, we verified that they're paid for in Terapeak. And what's kind of cool is for 5, well, there's probably 4 players in 5 spots. So it's not like anytime we've done this in the last year, it's been basically the 5 top selling Connor Bedard cards.
Bedsy.
All right, Phil, you excited?
I'm very excited. I'm also very, I get good entertainment watching other YouTube channels talk about 2024 and 25 artifacts. There's so much anger in the ether.
Why?
Yeah. Well, have you seen? I love Ziri's videos. You ever see? Watch Ziri's latest video of artifacts. It's kind of an annual thing. He gets pretty upset. I don't know why.
Really?
Yeah. People just. I don't find the consensus is. I'm not an artifacts guy. I have no dog in the fight. I just don't feel like this year has been well received. And I'm still trying to find out why, because I think it's a pretty straightforward set every year, right? So why would you?
Yeah, it doesn't change much. I mean, it's really
that's
consistent.
I don't know. Write in if anyone's watching. Let me know, or call in Friday nights with Phil and let me know. I'm still waiting to get a lot of phone calls and arguments and agreements. Sorry,
we need to get like a red phone, like an old school phone that rings, where we could patch people in. Wouldn't that be fun?
Yeah, Phil here. What's your beef? Like, I want people to call in.
Beef department.
Yeah, I want people to call in and argue with me or agree with me or point out things I haven't thought about. Or if you don't like artifacts, call in Friday night, man. You're on the Christmas holidays. Let me know what sucks about it or let me know what's great about it.
If we had a B phone, nobody would get through because nobody loves to argue with you more than me. And I would be on that thing 100% of it.
But we have fun when we argue.
I know.
Like same with Sylvain. When I argue with Sylvain, I have fun with it, you know? Yeah.
Okay, let's look at these sales. Number 5. Rookie Relic Redemption number 1, gold jersey. Sold for $570 US on December 21st. This is presumptively Macklin Celebrini, I think, by the buyer. So again, this is 2 jersey pieces. This is what I've learned about this set. And I'll admit, when I first got back into the hobby as an adult after the pandemic times, I got swept up in the whole Kaprizov thing and went like hard after paid like hundreds of dollars. And then by the time the redemption gets fulfilled, a jersey swatch card for that player is not worth $600.
No, it's not.
So
buy a $5 bingo ticket and you can have more fun scratching that.
Ooh. Number 4 is another redemption. It's the last redemption though. It's the Rookie Relic Redemption number 2, purple auto patch. So this is a little bit better, right? You get an auto, 2 patches. Very small patch window zone artifacts, but that's kind of the brand. Sold for $703 US on December 17th. Here's the tricky one on this one. I think people are presuming this is Michkov. And remember, I don't think it'll be like 3 or 4 months, right? Before the checklist gets released on this.
Mm-hmm.
So that's a little bit of a gamble, I think, at this point to presume maybe that. I'm not saying it's not going to be Michkov, but I would want certainty before I paid $700 for a redemption card like this.
Shout out to Mary Gamble. I'm still mad at her. So
you might say it's good. How do I say this? You would think it would be Michkov right now. I don't know. I would assume they've already created it. When they created this, it probably
no, they don't. This is why they do the redemptions, so they can do the checklist late.
Oh, cheaters!
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Well,
okay, cool. Number 3, Bedsy, Connor Bedard, not rookie year, second year orchestrators, hard sign auto though, out of 25 raw sold for $790 US by eBay on December 16th. That's a ton of money for a non-rookie year card. I think though a very nice looking card though.
It's nice. I like the white jersey. They don't do enough white Blackhawks. Yeah, white jersey Blackhawks.
Yeah,
making up prices.
So if this went on auction right now tonight, eBay Slab Sharks, what do you think it would go for? I'd say it wouldn't even hit $300.
Yeah, I mean,
seriously,
that's
like 1,300 Canadian, man. Oh, it's crazy. Okay, let's do number 2.
Hold on. Why do you say you think it would be that low? You think it would be lower than it's raw, but lower than a PSA 10?
I think a lot of these sales are 1 or 2 offs, right? As a Brady Tkachuk collector, well, this might not be the best example, but is once nothing is worse for me when someone's like, well, look at these 2 comps, they're very high. And then I'm the third guy of these 3 people who will only pay comps 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. They'll all be dirt cheap. So I think a lot of first, like this might have been the first orchestrators one or second. Yeah. I think once our community is small, guys, once the same handful of people get out of the way, I really think that's when the cards really drop. I'm not talking about young guns. That's everybody, but like low numbered autos like this. And, I think it's kind of the same people buying these cards and trying to be fast and quick, and could be totally wrong. I don't know.
What about this theory, Phil? We're in this hodgepodge still of we just had a 2022 set released. We've had 23. We've had now 24. What if the person maybe didn't realize or forgot that maybe thought that was a rookie card?
Very good point. Very good point. I think there's a lot going on with that price, right? Yeah.
Number 2 is Connor McDavid esteemed endorsements auto. It has a 3 times heart inscription on it. It's out of 28, sold for $811 US on December 13th. What do you think of this card, guys?
I like the card. I don't like the picture though.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah, nice card.
Mm-hmm.
McDavid will always sell well, right? It's just probably a McDavid collector, or maybe someone who wants to grade it. And
Yeah. Do you like inscriptions? Does that like make it more special to you to see
I like inscriptions. Yeah, I do. I think they're anything that makes a card unique, more unique, is cool.
Mm-hmm. The number one, Macklin Celebrini rookie Orem signatures out of 25 raw, sold for $900 US on December 16th. This is just all about people starving for anything Macklin Celebrini.
Yeah,
This card is a year from now when there's 150 different Macklin Celebrini rookie auto options. I
It's
don't think this.
card.
And not a sticker.
Yeah,
Yeah, I
it's
just want to be
$100
super high on my list. No, I actually think that I like the Orem design this year. It's just he's in his like what rookie, well, probably a draft night, right?
Right.
He's wearing a tie, and it's just not the card that I love. Although I do give props to Upper Deck on the Orem design.
You know what? I just thought you asked me the inscriptions, any auto inscription, if it's on a patch, I hope we get to a place where the inscription is the date of the player, right? Like
Yeah.
imagine a patch auto card and the player inscribed. That's a lot of work for Upper Deck, but it'd be
That'd be
worth
cool.
it. That'd be a
cool.
game changer, baby.
Game changer. All right, is any surprises here? What you guys kind of would have expected?
I don't know. I pretty much what I expected, I guess. I'm really not good with artifacts, and I'm glad we talk about it a lot. So we
helps you learn.
Yeah, I like learning.
All right, got to move on. Make a mention for Fanatics Collect. Of course, they sponsor our show, and we're thankful for their support. We'll be featuring some of their top hockey sales from December, their December premiere auction that ended on Thursday, and our weekly top sales video fill that comes out on Tuesday. So look out for that, guys. Also, if you need to do some last minute shopping for your best hobby buddy, Louis, there's plenty of great gifts to be had at the Fanatics Collect Buy Now Marketplace, like thousands. You might be able to even transfer them to my account.
Send them right over.
Yeah, that'd be great. And remember, too, if you have raw cards that you want to auction, you can very easily have them graded through the submission process that Fanatics offers. It's just a couple clicks, and they take care of the rest. They have really good rates on their grading, too. So you don't have to, if you think about like having a raw card that you want to sell and get graded first, you have to ship it to the grading company, figure out how to do that submission, spend the cost, take the time to wait, get the card back, then ship it to the auction company. You just send your card to Fanatics and you tell them who you want them to grade, and they take care of it, and they can plop it right in the auction, whether it be the premiere or weekly. It's a pretty slick process. And then lastly, but not leastly, the current Fanatics Collect weekly auctions live ends this upcoming Sunday. Head to fanaticscollect.com to check out the cards, mark your favorites, and get those bids in. Mailbag. Ready for mailbag?
Yeah.
First question from Instagram, Chan Man. Do you know the Chan Man? The Chan.
The Muffin Man?
Maybe. Chan Man says, I saw a post on Reddit about the S level report tag offers. I had no idea. It was so detailed and thought you guys might find it interesting, especially Phil. That's you, Phil, who went off about grading notes during your recent Festivus episode with Pia.
Sure did, Chan.
Yeah, the detail of the tag reports is incredible. And
amazing. Yeah.
I think it's really set the gold standard now for the grading companies in the hobby. What do you
Agreed.
guys think?
Yeah. Very aware of their S level reporting. I just don't agree with the way they're doing all of that. I think they should have one service, get her done, get the card back, and you would win the whole thing. But
yeah, they should have left it. I wish they'd have left it the way it was in the beginning versus then, now we're going to split it and
the tiers. And
just
I have a conspiracy about that, but I'll keep that to myself.
Mm-hmm.
For how long?
What? Well, I just think because they can't pump it out fast enough. So they have different tiers and it slows down the process. I would be doing everything I can, which I'm sure they are, on how to speed that up and take over the entire grading world. But whatever.
Yeah. Okay, let's move on. Instagram, Luigi32.123. With the Canadian dollar weakening and the US dollar getting stronger, do you think this could have an impact on card values? Well, Phil, I'll let you answer that since you're most impacted.
I base almost everything I do in American dollars anyways, so I'll just sell it in American dollars, but I do know what you mean. Yes, it does suck being a Canadian and having not a lot of power to your dollar.
So when you run your business, you charge in American dollars?
No, I charge in Canadian. I meant more hockey stuff, and I collect silver coins and I do silver, like precious metals and whatnot, gold, and that's all in American dollars in my head.
Oh, so cute.
Yeah.
So like when you, but even like with your business, your Canadian business, and you think, well, if I want to quote out a job, do you think of how much you want to make in American dollars, even though you charge Canadian, or no?
Yeah, I still do. I mean, it's gonna have to change soon if it keeps going down, man. I don't know.
It seems like is Canada always this tumultuous, or is it just
my country? I had a great upbringing. The 90s were great. Even the 2000s were pretty good. It's been a hard, fast and change in the last 6 years. I wouldn't even say 10. It's been like 4 to 6 years. Oh, COVID. And it's not COVID's just part of it. Something has happened in the last 4 to 6 years where merit has just taken a back seat, and it's hurt. And I think that everything is a lagging indicator, especially our dollar. So hopefully that'll change, and I'm very optimistic. I think it will. I think things will pick up. Our dollar will be back to 70 cents. It'll do it.
Are there a lot of are there how many? I didn't say how many. You can't answer that. There are a lot of companies up there that charge to the American dollar.
There's a lot of companies leaving. They don't want to deal with the Canadian dollar. That's what's happening. We're not inviting for business, right? We don't have a green pastures for small business, medium business, big business, right? 3 years ago, I woke up every day with the biggest smile on my face, ready to strike my day, meet new customers, right? I do about 15 to 25 estimates a day, and about 10 to 15 of those people are the salt of the earth. They're amazing. 2 or 3 kind of crappy people, and the rest are average. Everyone is nasty now. In 3 years, Louis, everything has changed. Businesses are leaving. I have no competition. 5 years ago, I had a better life with big competition. My business has no competition. They've all left, gone to the West Coast or gone to the States. I have an arborist who moved to Texas. Like, hey, what's going on? What's happening right now?
He should have moved to Ann Arbor. He could have been an Ann Arbor arborist.
Why do you think I want to visit Minnesota so bad? America is very inviting. It's just got a better opportunity, right? Like, I have a ceiling here. I can't get past a certain point right now. But I'm Canadian. I'm an Ottawa boy. I'm confident it'll change, and I'd like to be a part of that change. So,
can I share with you a perception I've always had of Canada that has been challenged a little bit by you, learning from you in the last year or so? I always thought that we're the BS crazy people, and you guys were more stable and normal.
No, it's coming. Listen, when life is so good, you have time to think about other things. You have time to ruminate, right? So Canada is awesome. Marijuana's legal. Netflix is cheap. What else do you need? Cell phone. You got a cell phone. You got Netflix. You got, some party favors or whatnot. You're good to go. And then if you take some of those things away, you feel like your rights are dwindling. Come on, man. Life is good for everybody. You can go to a store, get food pretty cheap, eat it. We don't have to go hunt it anymore. We're going off the rails, Josh. I can go on forever. Let me stop me.
Instagram, Billy Celio. How sad are you knowing Billy doesn't have a product coming out for a month or two? Well, I guess that's breaking news about EX 2000, because I was under the impression that that's coming out next. But if Billy says he doesn't have anything coming out for a month or two, yuck.
They might stature it and shelve it, eh? Did you hear that?
Well, he's probably still.
No, whoa. You heard those rumors? Are you being mean?
Well, they couldn't pick on the release date, and I heard they had some print issues. So what would be the next conclusion, right? You didn't hear that?
No. When did you hear that?
Billy told us. You got up and were doing things. So yeah, I'm serious, man.
Are you lying?
No, I'm not.
Are you trying to ruin my Christmas?
We weren't recording.
Are you
And
trying
you
to hurt
were
my
like, sorry
feelings?
guys, I'll just get right back. And I'm assuming that's what it was. It wasn't like, because I don't care for the set, so I didn't think it was a big deal. What do I care? But I forgot you love it, right? So yeah, sorry, buddy.
Discord
Yeah.
MPC 83. I just listed my very first cards for sale online. I'm a bit intimidated by the eBay horror stories where folks say they never receive an order, file a claim, and then the seller loses a card without getting paid.
That's
So
just
for now,
California, Dave.
yeah, true. So for now, I've just posted on Facebook Marketplace in the hopes of a local meetup. But I want to embrace a wider audience by posting in forums. What are the do's, don'ts of selling through online communities? Do you use PayPal or something else? I have some high dollar cards listed for me at least, and I don't want to get scammed. Any advice is appreciated or links to tutorials that you think would help a noob like me. Many thanks. Well, first of all, NPC, awesome question. You know, this is one of the purposes of our show is for newer people to be able to ask questions like this. So if you have questions that don't feel intimidated, that you know, let us help you and ask them. But Phil, do you have any advice for you buy a lot of cards through like Facebook groups and stuff like that? How does he, as a seller, protect himself?
So Facebook's a different beast, right? So I'm a big eBay guy. I love eBay. I'll pay a bit of a premium on eBay because your cards are, as a buyer on eBay, you are ridiculously protected. Okay. Like in Canada, landlords have no rights and the tenants basically don't have to pay rent for 8 months and they can get away with it. It's the same on eBay. So I highly recommend learning how to buy on eBay as well, because you are protected. On Facebook, it's more of the Wild West. So vouchers is how the credit system kind of works on eBay. My biggest suggestion would be don't join smaller groups at the beginning. The Slab Sharks group, I'm not even plugging one of our sponsors, is by far the best group on Facebook, in my opinion. GP Sports also is a big part of that. You have a lot of big players on the Facebook group. That still doesn't mean you're protected, right? There's a lot of jabronis that can get on that group. Do not feel odd. If there's a card you like, you're the new guy. So when I was the new guy, I had to send a card and then they would give me the money in good faith. That doesn't happen often for me, but if you're looking to sell more, you might have to do that. I would pick like maybe $10, $15, $20 options. You know, you might lose $20, but then you can make a post that the person didn't pay you. So I would track the card as well. So Facebook definitely goes by vouchers, and a vouch is you make a post with your name that's highlighted there, like a hot link, and say, hi, I'm buying a card off of Josh Madigan. Does Josh have any vouchers? And then when you tag Josh, other people in that community will what's the word? Vouch. They'll vouch for you. They'll say, yeah, Josh is a great guy. And then another guy will say, yeah, I've dealt with Josh tons of times. Smooth seller. And then other people say, yeah, Josh is okay. He gets a little angry sometimes, but other than that, it's fine. So, you know, so Facebook works excellent. My card post, they're awesome as well. You can trade. You know, Mark runs a really good ship over there. mycardpost.com. Yeah, I mean, those are the three places I swim in, and card shows. So, yeah.
The only thing I would add to that is if you're nervous about doing, you said you have some more valuable cards for you.
Yeah.
Don't do like a $10,000 deal with somebody that you've never worked with before.
Correct.
Start small, work your way up, play the long game.
PayPal. He talked about money. In Canada, I do e-transfer, EMT. So my Canadian hosers know what that is. What do you have in the States there? Venmo or something?
Yeah.
Mainly PayPal, though, for goods and services.
Oh, okay. Well, we have, here's another thing that I want to stress. So PayPal, if you're a Canadian NPC 83, if you're Canadian and buying an American card and you're paying PayPal and the seller says, I will only sell the card for goods and services. No, for friends and family, which means they get a bit more money. If you really want the card, pay the extra couple bucks and do goods and services. You are protected. Do not do friends and family. I've never been burned, but I can count on one hand, man. People get burned a lot, and mistakes happen, right? If there's nobody being a bad actor and someone mailed the card, sometimes things get lost in the mail. They just do, right?
Yeah.
You're both protected that way, and it'll solve you from an argument.
There's greater protection. Why a lot of sellers don't want to use it is that there's like a 3.5% fee. So they would, yeah.
As a seller, I believe you should eat that. That's bad business if you don't. That's what I think.
Anything to add, Louis?
No. Well, face depending on your search area for what you're looking for buying and selling, at least you have the opportunity with Facebook to do a meetup face to face and card for cash. Simple as that.
That was another Baba Louie Hobby hot take.
That was truly a hot take. Good job, Baba Louie. Thanks for adding to the conversation. Instagram, Ray Bork Collection. Take this year's MVP and put every card out of $2.99. Would it become a chase set? I say no way.
Yeah, me neither.
Mm-mm.
Yeah, we're in the junk variety. There's so many number cards, parallels, and the pedigree of the set matters. So because people are just not into MVP. I do like the colors and contours, but
I like that. I like where he's going with those. He's trying to think of something, right?
Think it out of the box.
Idea.
Yep, not trying to be dismissive. Just trying to give him a straight answer.
Is he talking this year's MVP cards?
Yeah, he's saying like almost like how the cup. Well, actually, that's a perfect example, right? The cup, every base card's out of $2.49.
Yeah.
And sorry, Phil, but most people don't care, right?
No, but you're right. They don't.
Yeah. And I actually think though that like you've planted the seed in my head that wow, I mean that these base cards are out of $2.49. They're awesome looking. Yeah. It's actually a fun, cheap way to collect a really good set.
Yeah, find your favorite cup design year, pick that one, get all the base cards the rest of your hockey collecting life. That's a forever hunt. It's great.
Yeah. Okay. Instagram, Top Shelf Cookie Sniper Podcast. Congrats on 250. No small task. When you look back, name a favorite moment. Also, what do you look forward to accomplishing with the pod? I'm guessing hockey card content global domination. Well, don't look at it that way.
Right.
We just try to have fun on the show. I mean, that's continue to have fun, continue to get better. And as far as like favorite moment, there's so many. I want to say Rip Party, the first Friends night at Chateau when Troy was still there and before, and then the first Friday nights with Phil. I don't think I've laughed harder in my entire life than that first. So those would be my top 3 moments. Louis, you want to go next?
Top moments. Probably the first time I met everybody at the Chateau. Top moments, doing the show. I love doing the show. It's fun. A lot of work, but it's fun. Going forward, what else is there to accomplish? I don't know. Bring the best and, good information to people out there that are listening to this thing and have fun while doing it. I don't want it to be stale, like it's a news broadcast or something. And I like to screw around a little bit, keep it loose.
Mm-hmm. Phil.
My favorite part of the podcast is definitely Chateau Gongshow. It's not necessarily podcast oriented, but I feel like our vibe brings people together. We don't really have a product. We sell a vibe. I don't know. Like I don't even think of it as a vibe, but I love.
Well, it is kind of the show because we all met through this show, and what I think is incredible about our kind of group that we all stay together every expo and we become very good friends is how lucky that it's like everybody. It's the group of everybody's a perfect fit, right? There was, what are the odds that you'd have like 8 people who barely know each other stay in a house and click so well?
But see, I want to talk about this stuff. Anybody listening, do the same thing. Like be chatty and social at the expo and card shows. None of us would have ever met, and this wouldn't be happening. You wouldn't be listening if some of us, like Louis, you're not the most, like you're not as shy as people think you are, but like you're not just going to go up to random people. Hey, how's it going? But you definitely get out of your shell at the expo because it's magical, right? Yeah. We're all around this thing that we can't really describe. And when all our energies, I mean, I'm not even religious, but I am spiritual. And I feel like our vibrations, when we're all vibrating in good ways, we find each other. Find your group, and we're all a big super group. Even the people listening, And I'm so sorry about the DMs, man. I'm terrible at that. But like, I hope no one's getting mad, and we're all part of the same thing. And find your chateau. Find your group of guys. Like, I'm exhausting. Trust me, Josh and Louis, they take naps when they're around me for a little bit. So not every group has to have a loud collector, but find your group, find your squad, and make it special, make it bigger than your collection, Well,
I would even extend a little bit to our Discord, and not to plug our Patreon, but
plug.
We've met so many people through that. I mean, it's the chance, and that's a good. And so many people we've run into at the show and had over to the chateau for Friends Night. And it's just a great way. And I consider so many of those people friends now too. So
cousins, right? You're my brother. Louis is my brother. Neil's my brother, Sylvain. And I find Discord, they're all my first cousins. Hey, what's up, bro? The barbecue, So I want the entire hobby to be my first cousins, right? And we all have cousins, second and thirds that we don't want at the party, but we accept that they're at the party. Those to me are the flippers.
I just need you to know that you can't marry these cousins, Phil. I don't know how your family works.
I'm Greek. I can get away with it.
Okay. Facebook, Bob McKenzie. He says, question for the Minnesota guys. What do you think of how Coach Bombay has turned the team around so far? Bringing Adam Banks in to play top line with Charlie Conway has ignited the offense. Just need Goldberg to stay healthy between the pipes. They have a good chance this year. Just hope they don't run into the Hawks for the championship. Fantastic question. I thought, so many questions right now for our team, Louis. Can Bombay fight his demons, be the leader we think he can be? Will Conway ultimately have the confidence that the Ducks need to bury the Hawks? And yes, Goldberg is definitely the wild card.
But he's been good until he was hurt.
He's in the player assistance program, I'm pretty sure, right now. Yeah. You guys didn't know that, Goldberg?
Oh, really?
I encourage you to Google that. I believe he's doing better now, but about 2 years ago, things weren't the best. So hopefully the league stepped in and helped him out. If we're playing this game thing.
Way to break the fourth wall.
I don't know what he wants, man.
Instagram, fan of New York Rangers, Capo Caco. Greatest name ever. had signed a deal with Panini for his autographs. When will he be able to sign with Upper Deck? That's a fantastic question. Fan of Rangers. All these companies get very secretive about their deals, especially Upper Deck. And so even if we ask them, I would love to ask them this question, but I know for a fact that they would give a non-answer answer. But this does give me the opportunity to say, and we're very, very grateful. Like, had we been think of this. If we were a football card podcast, we would be on 2 years now with no rookie autos in our license set. How awful that would be. I hate it when company A has the exclusive rights to manufacture the cards licensed, and the company B has the auto rights for a player, because the collector loses. Nobody wins.
Right.
How does the league let that happen? They don't care. They just
shouldn't.
Take the money.
Yeah.
It's ridiculous.
Well, I don't think they can prevent a player from doing a deal is the problem.
Okay. It could be all managed a lot better is what I'm hearing.
All right. Instagram, Mobits2. Love the Mount Rushmore bits. When you're done, how about Mount Rushmore for each position and then the whole league? Get the tongues ready.
That's great, Mobits. I love it. Yeah. Kibbles and bits and bits and bits. Mobits, kibbles and bits.
Wow. We did Mount Rushmore. I meant to look this up, and I'm trying to right now on the fly really quick. Troy and I did it a long time ago.
Let's do the remix version.
The summer of 2021. I don't know if it would change much at all, because I think it was, who was it? Oh, let's see if I can remember off the top of my head. I want to say it was Gretzky, Howe, Lemieux, and Richard, maybe? Or
I got an idea. Let's do it again, but we can't pick any of the players you and Troy picked. That's why you pay me the big bucks.
No, we can do by position. That might be.
Yeah, I was going to say, do it by position. You pick the top 5 wings.
That's not what we're talking
left
about.
Wing, right wing.
Position.
Yeah, I mean, that's exactly what he said. Josh went over this way.
Yeah.
No. He said position and then the whole league. Got to read the question.
Oh, got it.
So let's just do position.
Okay, we'll do position.
Okay. We're going to fight over goalie.
Oh yeah, of course
Patrick.
we'll fight.
We got a ways to go. Hey, can you remind us, Mobits, about your question? Because by the time we get done with this Mount Rushmore, I bet you we'll forget.
Yeah.
How we roll.
Yeah, we probably have what 15. We're probably halfway done, something like that.
Maybe. Yeah.
Instagram, ResDogs CC. He said, I was going through a bunch of cards that I had in my garage for several years. Nothing special, just some early 2000s inserts. I was thinking to myself, the design work and innovation in the Panini and Pacific trading cards came up with were so great. The one insert that stuck out was a Panini certified goalie pulls. Look
Great
them
card.
up if you get a chance. They're not pricey at all, but super cool. So I found a picture of one.
Oh,
Yeah, they're awesome cards. Got to get yourself a Bedard.
Yeah. So what do you pull like the inside out, and is there like
Mhm.
a scene, or does something change, or what? How do these work?
You asking me?
Huh?
Yeah.
Yeah, they're little. It's kind of like. Remember, you're like, Phil, what are you doing? You have to crack open the back. I was like, oh, I didn't know it was one of these cards at the expo.
Oh yeah, rip card.
Yeah.
Nice. Have you seen these Louis in hand before?
No.
It's been
Yeah.
like 15. It's been a long time though, so it's a little different, but it's gimmicky. It's gimmicky.
Yeah. They're pretty cheap, so yeah, it might be fun to pick one up.
Mhm.
I just
Okay,
don't like the certified logo. It reminds me of Ford.
Kind of, yeah.
Yeah.
Instagram, Go Cards for Life. Will Connor McMichael be one of the next hobby darlings? Okay, I'm gonna say something controversial. He's having a good year, and he's 24, and he's got 16 goals, 28 points, and 32 games played. He'll probably be a good player, but is he going to be a hobby star? I don't think so. I mean, when was the last time you heard Connor McMichael hype?
It's got a cool name.
Haven't.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know why. I can't tell you why he doesn't or shouldn't. I'm not saying he shouldn't, but I just don't see people like going crazy over Connor McMichael, like Jack Hughes or something like that. You know. So I'm going to say, I don't know. You guys want to disagree with me? You think he's going to be a hobby star?
I don't watch Washington enough to know.
That's what I was going to say. I don't see their games enough to.
Mm-hmm.
And if he's not coming up through the channels of things that I read all the time, then and I haven't seen it. I don't.
Can I ask you
much about
guys a
the-
question? Like, so I'm making a big effort to watch a lot more hockey this year on my off winter.
Yeah.
Oh no, such a task. So I watched New Jersey and Pittsburgh yesterday, right? And I have a subscription. I can watch any game. I started getting a headache switching to all the games. I have to stick to one game. And then when that game's over, I can watch another game. So I watched the Penguins and Devils game last night. Awesome game. And then I watched my Sens in Vancouver. Then I watched that hockey guy, right? You know, we watch him on YouTube. He's like, I try to watch all the games as much as I can. I'm like, how do you do that? So how do you guys watch? Do you watch multiple games on multiple screens or
No.
no? Okay, yeah. I don't have the brain for that. Like I have to be like, I'm watching Washington play tonight, and I'm gonna check out their lines and see. I have to make a decision to watch hockey like that.
If every team aside from Ottawa is playing tonight, and you go and flip on, and they're all available, which team are you going to? Like, just like Bill Simmons does league pass ratings for NBA. This is very similar to that. Like,
Yeah.
it doesn't have to be your favorite team. It's just like the team that you think is the most fun to watch outside of your team.
I kind of feel like I should lie right now. So I love watching. So I like watching Winnipeg. I'm a big Winnipeg guy. I like they're a great team to watch. I do like watching Pittsburgh a lot lately because I'm enamored by Crosby. I feel like it's like I'm giving myself penance for all the years I made fun of him. And I listen, man, you can't knock a childhood, right? Nature versus nurture. I bleed Habs somewhere, you know. So watching French hockey, when I watch RDS, TSN in French, I can fall asleep like that because my dad watched hockey and he would let me stay up watching. So French hockey is my safety blanket. And what's French hockey? Well, it's the Habs, right? So
yeah. Which one of those teams did you feel like you had to lie about?
Montreal.
Oh, why? Is that a Senators rivalry there?
You know why? It's not my fault. I'll tell you why. Because all these stupid Ottawa fans are like, oh, I hate Montreal so much more than Toronto. They're all like fair weather fans and they feel like they have to hate Montreal. I can't have to hate Montreal. If Ottawa is playing Montreal anytime, Stanley Cup playoffs, exhibition, and everything in between, I am a diehard Sens fanatic, right? But if the Sens aren't playing, I'm a storied franchise of all sports of all time fan. Yeah.
I tend to gravitate to teams that with players that I think are interesting. So I watch a lot of Blackhawks to watch Bedard, even though it's kind of awful to watch the Blackhawks play.
Mhm.
Or like if the Sharks are on, I'll want to see if Celebrini's doing anything, you know, that kind of are hobby related. I know you have like 180 favorite teams, Louis, but aside from the Wild and the Devils, who I'm starting to think you like more than the Wild.
Yeah, I agree with Josh, Louis. I think you do.
What's a team that maybe we wouldn't think of that if you see is up there that you would kind of gravitate to?
I don't know. I enjoy watching the Oilers play.
Yeah.
Nice.
Davey.
Yep. I used to hate. And it was nothing to do with Minnesota teams playing them. Hated the Red Wings, but kind of enjoy watching them too.
Yeah. Larkin. I'm not a Larkin guy. He's a whiner. Who's your most hated team? Like, what's your most disliked team? I tell you right away. Mine.
Now? I don't know.
Yeah.
Vancouver?
Yeah, that's me. Well, other than the blue team, Vancouver.
Why Vancouver?
Man.
I don't know.
They're just annoying.
I can't stand Vancouver and St. Louis. My two.
Oh, I don't know.
Oh, St. Louis. Yeah, most Minnesota people hate St. Louis.
Oh, really? I don't mind St. Louis. I like Keith Tkachuk, Brett Hall, Bernie Federko. Anyways, but yeah, Vancouver. Like,
it didn't help that they just have our number and they smoked us in the Winter Classic. That was embarrassing.
That was terrible.
No, okay. Fair enough. Yeah, I have a hate bone for Anaheim for what they did to us too. Chris Pronger, if I ever see you on the street, I'm gonna get a ladder and I'm gonna hurt you.
I don't have a.
He was right next to us at the expo. He was at the eBay.
Yeah,
you were 5 feet away from him.
Yeah,
yes.
You think I don't know that? Of course, I'm not talking to that.
Oh well, wait a minute. You're all this big talk in a street with a ladder, and he was like 2 feet away from you a month ago. And what did he do about it? Nothing.
No, I'm gonna be all talk. He's a monster.
Okay.
Yeah, no, but I'm not gonna acknowledge his presence around me.
I didn't like Anaheim for a 7-game series against the Wild, but I don't think it was the offensive players. It was the illegal pad size of one Jean-Sebastien Giguère.
Jean-Sebastien Giguère.
He had us figured out.
All right, 2 left. Ice Blades 1. Congratulations on achieving 250. Your content and insight is always appreciated. Is he talking about our show? However, I have a concern about Phil. Well, don't we all?
Yep.
Now he's probably grinning ear to ear about Pinto's hot streak. So here's my question. Will Pinto come to his senses, or will Phil come to his senses and sell high, or will this embolden him to go for 500, or dare I say 1,000 Young Guns?
To be honest, it takes a lot in me to go into a box, grab a card, go on the computer, say for sale. I'm probably going to take the lazy way out because I have some good connections. I'm probably just going to sell them in batches of 5s and 10s for the majority of them. And then not to Sylvain. I'm not going to sell one Shane Pinto to Sylvain. I'm never going to sell a card to Sylvain ever again, probably. I don't want our friendship to be ruined, you know? But yeah, the Pinto thing, I'll probably just sell them. I'll just listen. I'm a dealer at the Ottawa show. I just don't really sell cards. I just want to sit down and people. So I'll probably fill the whole table. Hey, there's good content. I'll put Shane Pinto Young Guns for sale on the whole table. Every week, I'll just cover the whole table with Shane Pinto Young Guns.
When was the last time you bought a Shane Pinto Young Guns?
My ComC. Yeah.
When?
I don't know.
That box I had.
No. I mean, in the last week.
Oh, yeah. Oh, Josh, I don't know. It's probably been a couple years. I mean, like, I don't know. Within the first year that they came out? What?
You haven't bought a Shane Pinto in 2024 Young Guns.
2020. Like this year, have I bought
this year? Shane yeah. This is 2024.
No? Why would I do that?
Oh, really? I don't believe you.
I mean, no. I mean, I think
you've bought one in the last week.
That's important. No, I haven't. That doesn't make sense.
Well, why does it make sense? You have 400. Why would you want 401?
Why stop there, right? Why not get 500?
Yeah.
4,000.
No. If one of the Pinto families...
You say you haven't bought any in the past week.
Like, did I call you when I was on?
No, I just feel like you can't stop.
No, I can't stop buying Wayne Gretzky refractors.
Yeah,
That is
well,
maybe what you're thinking of.
I appreciate that more, but okay. Last one. Good question. Lob Dog Millionaire from Instagram. What are your thoughts on the market in collecting official pucks, such as signature pucks, limited edition pucks, player achievement pucks? I'm curious, as this is a part of the hobby that doesn't receive much love. I think pucks are cool. I just don't, for whatever reason, don't have any.
Oh, you know, I have a good puck collection.
Oh, really?
I had a few, but they take up so much space.
That is what I like to get an in-person auto on, a hockey puck, not a hockey card. So I have like Carlson, I have Spezza, I have Craig Anderson, all signed in person. Yeah. And they're great. They're mine. I love them.
Eater.
No. No.
Which ones do you have, Louis?
They're all North Stars or Wild sign pucks.
Do you have Bobby Smith?
I don't. But I'd think of you if I had one.
Ooh, I have one and I don't think of you.
Okay. With that, we're going to move on to personal pickups. Phil, you have a pickup in your hat.
I sure do. Okay. Can we tell the story? If you heard a doorbell earlier, that was this card. So they're not Froggers from Edmonton. It was great, man. I saw this. Okay, I guess I got to tell the truth about this. So I saw this pop up on eBay. It was 2,300. Okay, I'll start opening. I saw it pop up on eBay. It was 2,300. I'm not alone. Oh my God. And I said, will you take 2K EMT? That's e-transfer, your Vimo thing. He said, let me get to work, which would
Venmo.
be Froggers.
Yeah.
From there. And yeah. And it's a raw copy. It's beautiful. And it's a Wayne Gretzky refractor.
Ooh, that's pretty.
Wow. Hey, so there's a question. We have a bonus mailbag question about this.
Okay.
There's a guy that follows our show, Ryan Moss, who got interested in these cards based on you opening your O-Pee-Chee 98 Chrome box.
This is really good.
And he started looking for some, Phil, on eBay. And he's asking, do these get faked? And if they do, how would I spot one to make sure I'm not buying a fake one of these Gretzky Chrome cards or Chrome refractors?
Those get faked?
I don't know. He's asking.
Oh, I don't know. How would you fake that? That couldn't be an easy one to do.
I think Phil's so lost in his card that he didn't. Do you understand the
answer the question, Phil?
Did you listen to the question?
I'm sorry.
You blacked out.
Did you post it again?
I love. Okay, so there was a guy who follows the show, Ryan Moss.
Okay.
Who watched Friday Nights with Phil, and he watched you open the 98 O-Pee-Chee Chrome.
Yeah.
And he became interested in getting a Gretzky Chrome or Gretzky refractor.
I'm not selling one, no.
No. He doesn't want you to sell one.
Okay.
He asked though, are these cards faked ever? And if so, how would I spot a fake?
Oh, that's a good question. I would think refracting technology. Well, okay. Yeah, I'm not trying to be cheeky, but it refracts, take it out of the one touch. It refracts I've never seen a fake refracted card. Have you guys? Like a foiled?
No.
So, I mean, if it's got a sheen to it, I mean, that's real deal. One thing a lot of people don't know, I don't know why they don't know this. Well, if you don't know, you don't know. It says refractor on it. So the chrome ones, are look like the base card, but the refractor set out of the Blast from the Past all say refractor on it. Excuse me, underneath the number of the card. So Stan Mikita's got a number on his card. If it's a refractor, it'll say underneath. And the back of these cards are very, very well produced. They're thick. They don't fit in a 28 point. You have to put them in a 35. They have that extra smudge of thickness to them. I guess that's how they get scratched up on the covers as well. But I trust more than I should. Maybe my muscle memory knows to look for things that are kind of not adding up, but I don't want to say don't worry about not buying a fake one. I've just never seen a fake one, so I don't worry about it.
Gotcha.
Is that a bad answer?
No.
It's not a protective answer. I'm sorry.
It's all right. That's the best answer you can give. Louis, you got anything for pickups? Wait. Sorry. How many Gretzky refractors do you have now?
I can tell you right now, they're all right beside me. So I have a PSA. I have a PSA 8. So 1, 2, 3.
Jeez.
Oh, yeah, I got 5. 4, 5. Yeah.
Look at that. That's pretty awesome.
It looks like
I
4.
love that card. I would rather have that than
The rookie?
the rookie. I love that.
Yeah,
card.
yeah, me too.
Mhm.
Me too, Louis. So I'm gonna crack this Friday night. If people don't know how, I got a couple of DMs asking like, oh, how do you crack? I'm like, oh, okay, I'm gonna crack it out of the PSA 8 on Friday.
Piece of
Oh,
cake.
Scares the crap out of me. Knowing
Just
how
wear-
you handle cards.
I
Just
like
wear
it.
safety
I like
glasses.
Destruction.
Louis, you got any pickups?
I do, and I got some coming, but it's kind of turning into SSDG, if you know what that means. So I didn't show any.
Kaka and Dudu?
SSDD. Same poop, different day.
Oh, gotcha.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, that's the story of my collecting life. I got 4. I picked up a 2024 Artifacts Kaprizov Antiquity. Can't wait to see it in hand. I'm hoping it's cool. Then I got a 2000 Pacific Titanium stock Mario Lemieux debut date out of 185. Raw.
You
I
like
love
the
these cards.
titaniums, Joshy?
Here,
Oh, I love those.
Yeah.
Love them. Then I had to get some medallions because that's what I do. Got a 21 Flair Ultra. I do like 21 better than 22, so I'm sticking with 21.
Mm-hmm.
Ovechkin gold medallions out of 200, and then a Draisaitl Titian medallions out of 75.
Titan.
Titian. I wish it was Titan too. Titan's so much better.
I legit thought they just made a spelling mistake.
Yeah,
But
I
I'm
do
like,
too.
"Wait, Titan's not a color." I'm like, just don't think about it again.
Well, if you like the episode, please leave a rating, review on Apple, Spotify, whatever podcast app you listen to us on. If you love the show, want to support us, want to chat with us, become our friend, become our cousin. Phil wants you to be his cousin.
Yeah,
in the
I
Hockey Cards
do.
Gongshow Discord
I
server.
might
Please,
marry you.
you
What
can
up, cuz?
buy Phil's cousinship for $5 a month. Join our $2.99 support level tier on Patreon. Link is in the show description, both the YouTube and the podcast apps, and our Instagram, TikTok profile. On our website, there's a link. You go to hockeycardsgongshow.com, click on the Become a Patreon link, or just go to the Patreon website, patreon.com, and search for Hockey Cards Gongshow. We're on social media. We're on Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, YouTube, and Twitter.
We are.
And the Hockey Cards Gongshow podcast is a production of Dogbox Ventures LLC. Have a very happy holidays, a very Merry Christmas if you celebrate. And
Yo, it's episode 250, the Gongshow ride. We messing up French name. Can't keep it inside. Phil sleeps with cake. Yeah, dreams so sweet. But on the pod, he brings the heat.
Louis, take us out.
We out. Bye.
Props to Troy, the OG, the voice, dropping hockey card wisdom, the people's choice.